in the 2020 season, for the first time in 14 years, someone other than Nick Saban leads the Walk of Champions. That's acting head coach Steve Sarkisian. Behind him is the #1 team in the country, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. With that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Bryant-Denny Stadium with the tune Sweet Home Alabama in the background. The #1 team in the country for the Iron Bowl for the 85th time, hosting the number 22 Tigers of Auburn. As we take a look at the SEC West standings, Alabama on top, as they are in the rankings for the country as well. Texas A&M, they've already beaten them, only one loss. A&M's got a date with LSU coming up a little bit later on tonight. And we welcome you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl down in the field. Gene Steratore will be along with us as well. The only thing we're missing is one of the greatest football coaches of all time. And Gary, with Nick Saban out, I think it'd be foolish to say it won't have some kind of impact.
It'd be a little insulting to say a guy who's been in it for 47 years doesn't have an impact on a football game. Might not be today, but you could argue maybe the most impactful decision in college football that I can remember, when he switched quarterbacks to 2 in the national championship game. Probably won't happen today, but I think Nick Saban on the sideline, the players would want to have him there.
Well, they've got a guy that's been there and done that in Steve Sarkisian, who was a head coach at Washington and USC. Probably won't have to make any kind of decisions like that today. The guy he's playing quarterback, I think, is going to be out there all day today.
Mac Jones has had a year just taking it from where it started out. The great quarterback play from Tua. He was the quarterback in this game a year ago, but his weapons, and he's got 2 great ones. The big 3 this year with Devontae Smith and Najee Harris. When those guys are rolling, and it's been tough to stop them, only 1 game all year, and they scored less than 40 points. But that's a tough threesome to slow down.
Yep, they're averaging 49 a game. That's 3rd best in the country. As for Auburn, they've been playing really well the last 3 games. They've got question marks. Their 2 starting tackles, one will probably only play on extra points and field goals. The other guy was a game-time decision. Tank Bigsby, their top tailback. He's a question mark too, and boy, that puts a lot of pressure on Bo Nix.
It does. He's been in this game before. He's been in the winter, but now he's on the road against this day. And today, I think he's going to be more calm. He was clutch last year, so he's got a win under his belt. Can he do it again? His passing is improved, but I think like last year, he's going to have to bring this running attack to upset Alabama in this football game.
Well, it was a great game a year ago, as if there wasn't a lot of emotions already for the Iron Bowl. It's senior day as well. With more on that, 3rd member of our team, Jamie Erdahl. Jamie?
Brad, when Nick Saban tells you this team is one of the most fill-in-the-blank he's ever coached, your ears tend to perk up, because it has to be a pretty remarkable characteristic to stand out against 47 years of coaching. Well, we'll tell you, Saban told us this team is one of the most closest-knit groups he has ever coached, and you don't have to look too far down the depth chart to find 4 reasons why. 4 of the 17 seniors honored today that really didn't need to be here this season, but came back to play for this team. I spoke with one of their young stars, Jalen Waddle, about this group. He said it was easy to buy in this season when you look at those 4 guys. He also told me this team made a decision to spend as much time together as possible, because we are in the middle of a pandemic. You could risk bursting this bubble and what this team could put together this season by spending time outside of the bubble. So they know they're getting tested every day, and behind this senior leadership, this team has made a pretty mature decision. Brad, Nick Saban was able to send a video message onto this group before the game. Usually he is the one that's leading the honorary senior day.
This senior class looking for their 46th win together. Can they do it in the 85th Iron Bowl? They started this in 1893. We're about to have version 2020 in a moment. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, Ford, Sonic, and by Progressive.
Around the country, Thanksgiving week is usually set aside for family, food, and football. Despite these tumultuous times, college football rivalry weekend has arrived. And in the state of Alabama, that can mean just one thing: the Iron Bowl. For the Tide, who will emerge from their pantheon of stars to mold a lasting memory alongside the legends of this great game?
Van Tiffin has won the ball game.
Touchdown, Derrick Henry!
Jalen Waddle, nobody's gonna catch him. Touchdown, Alabama.
For Auburn, which player will cast themselves into Iron Bowl lore?
Chris Davis, an answered prayer.
Tillman, good cut, touchdown, Auburn.
It's a Kobe McLean. Touchdown.
The past, a prelude to the present. Alabama, ranked #1 and forging yet another championship season.
Najee Harris.
Are you kidding me?
Touchdown, Alabama!
And Auburn, perseverance personified, soaring once again.
What a touchdown!
No one can throw a ball better than that.
Touchdown, Auburn!
For the 85th time, they meet in the most heated of college football rivalries. This is the Iron Bowl.
That should get you ready. Here comes number 22, Auburn. And on the other side, the unanimous #1 team in the country on their home field, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Nice day. The rain's going to stay away, I think, until at least tonight. 62 right now. Partly cloudy skies in Tuscaloosa as we get set for the Iron Bowl. Series history. Auburn's won 2 of the last 3. Nobody's done better, really, against Nick Saban than Gus Malzahn, who's 3-4. And he said to us yesterday, it's going to be weird. I wish Nick was there because I like to coach against the best. Auburn won the toss, and they want the football. And they'll get it at the 6-yard line, Sean Shivers. And he's only getting to the 16. Nice job by the special teams. Josh Jobe down there to make the hit.
They might even move it back. There's a couple flags on the play as well.
Not the way you wanted to open things up. You're a Tiger fan. Here's a call.
During the return, holding, return team number 9. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Bo Nix goes, 16 would have been okay. I'm not crazy about inside my own 10. And the offense that joins him, a guy that's really become the stretch wide receiver. Schwartz, he's got great speed. Actually comes in as their top receiver as well and catches. Gus Malzahn, his 8th year as a head coach. And his team has to work inside its own 9-yard line. That is Schwartz in motion. 2 yards for Shivers, and that's it. As we take a look at the Alabama defense that brought him down after a short gain. There's the group up front. Dylan Moses, one of the seniors, their leading tackler. And the back end, some really good talent in that secondary. 2nd down and 8. Big shift. Everyone moves. Schwartz comes down to the bottom of the screen. Seth Williams to the top. They'll keep it on the ground. And maybe 3 more. It's going to bring up 3rd down on the opening series.
So in Ness, in our meetings, everybody asks me, all right, what does Auburn have to do well to win this game on offense? Everything.
They got to be almost perfect.
They do. They have to run the ball pretty well. They have to have a little play action. Bo needs to be able to run to help the running game. They need to stay healthy in that offensive line. They're down a guy, you know, and there's 3 wide receivers need to be a factor. They really have to have the whole package to move the ball today.
Right now, they just like to get 4 yards. Empty backfield for Bo Nix. They need to get out near the 19-yard line to pick up a first down. Nick's first throw is not going to be a throw. It's going to be a sack. Drop for a loss of 3. Chris Allen is there.
In last year's game, there was only 1 sack in the game, and that was by Auburn on a safety off the edge. This time, Alabama brings 5. First pass of the game, they get a sack. 0 a year ago by this Alabama pass rush.
3 and out, and a punt coming up. Devontae Smith is standing at midfield, waiting on Aiden Marshall's kick. Devontae, the top receiver for Alabama, could be dangerous as a return man as well. Slade Bolden normally would be back there. He's nursing a bad ankle. And Devontae runs up on this one and takes it at the 45. They're already in Auburn territory, and to the 35 he goes after a short kick and a nice return.
And I get the feeling the Alabama fans don't cheer for the play until number 6 runs off the field.
Jalen Waddle was out here earlier. He is on the sideline in a boot and 1 crutch. It was good to see him walking around. We miss him after the sensational game he had last year, a 4-touchdown game. There's Jalen. Mac Jones out of Jacksonville, sensational year, in the talk for Heisman Trophy possibilities. John Mechie, see what he does today too with Kevin Steele, I'm sure, knowing where Devontae Smith, number 6, is at all times. They know where number 22 is as well. Najee Harris, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Owen Pappo made the stop for the Auburn defense. That looks like this. The guys up front. Kobe McClain had a big game last year. He's a leading tackler. He had a 100-yard interception return for a score, and there's the back end of the Kevin Steele defense. So second down at 10 for the Tide at the 34-yard line. It's Billingsley, the tight end that was in motion. Mac Jones going to go deep and incomplete. Intended for John Mechie. Brings up third down and 10.
A little bit of a traffic route problem for that crossing route for Alabama on this play. The receivers kind of all get in a bunch together and almost collide. Mechie with Devontae Smith coming across the field, slowed him down on the play.
Alabama's 3rd in the country in third down conversions at 58%. They'll have to earn all of this one. Third down and 10. Najee Harris joins Mac Jones in the backfield.
Nobody moved for Auburn, so you got to feel zone if you're Mac Jones on this play. He has zone coverage.
Jones over the middle, completes it to Forrestall, and he's got the first down. Needed 10, he got 11, but there's a flag down.
I thought Auburn lined up offsides on the play.
Illegal formation, offense. Number
wow.
70, not on the line of scrimmage.
70,
5-yard
that's
penalty.
why it looked that way.
Third down.
Leatherwood was off the line of scrimmage. It looked strange from the press box. He was so far back, not egregiously.
He's getting a head start, though.
I've seen worse, to tell you the truth.
One of the great offensive linemen in the country.
Yes.
So it would have been a first down. Now it's 3rd and 15 instead.
I always remember about Leatherwood on that 2nd and 26 pass that Tua threw. He was in the game as a true freshman left tackle in the football game.
Tell you how many games he's played in. Jones, plenty of time this time. Deep and incomplete. Intended for Slade Bolden. And it's 4th down.
That was great coverage that time. Tremendous protection for Mac on that play. Step in the throw, but the secondary covered up well. Look at the protection. It's clean. They're in zone again. You're running with the inside player down the middle of the field, but basically Sherwood knew it was zone everywhere else, and he had help.
Nice coverage, and it'll force a punt. Charlie Scott to kick. Eli Stove is back around the 10-yard line for Auburn. High end over end kick. Stove with the fair catch and takes it just inside the 11-yard line. So each team has had a 3 and out here early at Bryant-Denny Stadium. No score in Tuscaloosa. Little different formation, Gary, on that punt.
Well, a formation that felt a little weird if you're an Alabama fan, because right out here, that's Devontae Smith covering the punt. So he's caught the punt. He's an All-American receiver, and now he's covering the punt. Auburn says defense stays. I don't blame them. If I've got number 6 out there, anything might happen.
So they have the punt safe on. Now they get the ball back basically where they started on their first drive. The 11-yard line. Tank Bigsby is in the Auburn backfield. We'll see how long he can go, nursing a hip injury suffered in the last ball game, but he's set to go. And he's set to carry here. And got about 3. Christian Harris brought him down.
I watched him very carefully in warm-ups. In the passing portion of it, all the other backs went out for a pass. Bigsby never took 1 rep in the pass part of it. He was saving himself to run the ball.
Freshman came in as the leading rusher at 527 yards. Got about 530 now after that last carry. Second down, 7. Quick swing pass out. Oh, form tackle out there at the 10-yard line on Seth Williams by Patrick Surtain.
Well, there's a reason they call Patrick one of the best football players. Forget just best corners. One of the best football players in college football. Recognizes the play instantly, comes up, breaks down, and makes a form tackle. Beautiful job.
And it brings up 3rd and long. Auburn, last 3 games, they've been around 60% of their 3rd down conversions, but you don't want 3rd down and 11 against this defense.
Last time they brought 5. How many did they bring this time?
Anthony Schwartz in motion with 3 receivers set to the left. Bo Nix looking that way, going that way. Completes it, and he's got a first down. Schenker is tight end.
So 4, Alabama brought. That Auburn line did a good job of giving Bo Nix a chance to step into the throw. Alabama plays soft zone. He takes the short throw, and he runs for the first down.
Samuel Schenker, who didn't have a catch a year ago in this game, has a big one there to move the sticks out to the 22. Bigsby trying to cut it outside, nothing doing. Jordan Battle won the battle, brought it down.
If you're an Auburn fan, you're going to hope that Bigsby's going to loosen up, because right now he does not look like the guy we saw breaking all that tackles.
Yep.
Looks like he doesn't have that explosive burst. He's just kind of grooving. You see that, how he kind of stumbled when he tried to plant right there? He's not yet the Tank, and how could he be coming off that hip injury for him?
So DJ Williams now in the backfield with Bo Nix. Here's a end around. Eli Stove with his tight end out blocking, and he's got a first down.
Well, Stove is faster than Samuel Schenker. There's no doubt about it. Give him a shove there, you know. Stove, the speed guy. You see him running the speed sweeps, the jet sweeps. Talked to Gus about him. He said he's even emerging as a wide receiver as he's grown up into this offense.
Play action. Nix in trouble. He's going to go down. Loss of about 4.
I thought it was Justin Aboichi who has the first shot on him at that time, number 92. Bo eludes 1, but this time inside it was number 92 that got him first, and then Barmore had a shot of it. Bo's lucky to get it back where it was, only a loss of 3, the 2nd sack of the game.
Everybody got a hand on number 10 before it was dropped, and it forces 2nd down at 12. Quick throw out to Stove again. He's met head on at the 38-yard line before he's run out of bounds. Alabama's defense early in the year, everybody was talking about, well, they're not very good. They're not this, they're not that. Well, there's what they've done in the last 2 games, and who's the #1 scoring defense in the SEC? Guess who? These guys.
There's no doubt. They've improved. They've been coached real hard. They made mistakes early in the year. They had that nightmare at Ole Miss. And since then, they've been more aligned properly. That's #1. Get in your spot, assignment, alignment, and then make the tackle.
Empty backfield. Nix with 5 receivers. Streak down the sideline. It was intended for Seth Williams And that one never had a chance.
Auburn loves that matchup. Seth Williams going one-on-one to the outside, but Josh Jobe, number 28, does not get the attention. You got to kind of earn your stripes for getting publicity around here. There's always a guy that's ahead of you. Sertan gets most of the pub, but Jobe has really come on as a shutdown corner. Big, tall guy, over 6 foot tall, and has just gotten better. And one of the reasons why this defense for Alabama is better.
So another punt, Aiden Marshall to kick. Devontae Smith counting bodies in front of him. Again, a wobbly kick that Smith will call for the fair catch around the 21-yard line. Make it the 22. And with 7 minutes remaining first quarter, Alabama's got it on offense when we come back. Last year at Jordan-Hare, we had everything in the 84th Iron Bowl that you can imagine. Jalen Waddle, 4 touchdowns, including a kick return for a score. A couple of pick sixes, even though Mac Jones threw 4 touchdown passes, 2 returned for scores by Auburn defense. Extra second at the half led to an Auburn field goal. No lead was safe. 9 lead changes, which is a record for this matchup. And a kick that would have tied it went doink. And Alabama had too many players on the field at the end. It was a crazy 48-45 win. It was number 16 Auburn with an upset at Jordan-Hare over 5th-ranked Alabama. This year we got number 22 and number 1. And we don't have one guy that we wish was playing because he's darn fun to watch, and that's number 17, Jalen Waddle.
And you would think since Waddle went out, the defense would be able to slow down and concentrate on Smith, but it's been the opposite. Smith has been the go-to guy, and he's had his 2 best games, really, since Waddle went out for the year.
Najee Harris with Mac Jones in the backfield. The throw was out to Billingsley, the tight end. And all of a sudden, the light came on for this kid, a sophomore tight end, wide receiver type of body, if you will. We watched him in practice last year. We said, this dude looks like he could be good.
Who's this guy? He's one of those new breed guys. You know, is he an H-back? Is he a wide receiver? He's going to grow into being one of those Kyle Pitts type guys. Didn't catch a pass this year until the 5th game, 3 last week. So he's coming on strong. 3
for 78 a week ago, a first down catch here. That moves it to the 34 for Alabama. Najee Harris hit in the backfield and will get back close to the line of scrimmage. Colby Wooden was the guy that brought him down. Steve Sarkisian, the acting head coach. We go way back. We used to do his games when he played quarterback at BYU.
That's right.
And Washington head coach, USC head coach. It was 6 weeks ago when Coach Saban originally had a COVID test that was positive and proved to be a false positive, and we went through the whole scenario about Sark running the show then. Well, this time he really has to. Jones, wide open. Devontae Smith will cruise. Alabama touchdown. Nobody home back there.
Now, I think you call this a bust. When I talked to Kevin Steele on the phone on Wednesday, he said if we could just keep the top of the defense from the easy play. Well, they were not successful. Their best receiver runs right by an in and out coverage. Just one step in, one subtle step into the inside against double coverage, and Mac knows he's got a touchdown when he lets it go. It's like Larry Bird.
Yeah, a 3-point shot, walk in the locker room.
Just the one subtle step froze the inside safety, and he was gone.
Well, he's done it so many times already. Number 6. That is number 11. One of the seniors. Greg Byrne, a little hug. Give him a game ball. Give him a real ball from 66 yards out to put your team in front. 7-0 tie. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always on sports news network for highlights, breaking news, expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. You could probably see Devontae Smith go 66 yards for a touchdown, as he just did. A season long for Devontae, not a career long. He had an 85-yarder in one of the games we did last year. I don't know, he had so many big games.
Well, he's such a patient football player. He's got a lot of experience. He's been a great player since his true freshman year, and he showed it again on that last touchdown play.
Sean Childers takes a kick from the 9, runs into his own guy at the 20, and is bounced back to around the 19-yard line as we take you back to the touchdown.
It's not like Auburn wasn't in the right defense on this play. They've got 1-2 guys right here on one guy. It's in and out coverage on Devontae. They're playing bracket coverage. In and out, gone. And what happened is a subtle move by a receiver. If Devontae just runs full speed, they'll cover him. But just this little in move, that was enough to freeze Smoke Monday on the play. And he smoked him.
He did. 7-0 Alabama. Let's see if Auburn can have an answer. Nix fires too far in front of Anthony Schwartz. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, guys, as if Devontae Smith could get any better this offseason, Alabama went out and hired Dr. Matt Ray as the director of sports science. He told Devontae he could improve his burst speed off the line. His top-end speed was already elite, but they worked on single-leg strength to improve Devontae's first 4 steps, and you can see the product on a play like that.
Oh, no kidding.
That's not fair.
It isn't. Nix on a roll and throws, and a drop ball. Would have been a first down to Shedrick Jackson. Got a flag down.
Offside. Defense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So Tim Smith was offside.
He was right in the middle of this play, playing nose tackle. Number 50 right there.
Nice little jump.
And this is the freeze play by that offensive line. This is what's called before the offside, where the offensive line just stands there and tries to catch the defense flat-footed. Kind of worked.
It did. Bixby dropped in the backfield.
The running game has got to help a little bit. The sophistication of the Auburn pass game just isn't there if that's all they have. They need more.
Christopher Allen's second tackle for loss here in the first quarter. He just closes in, and number 4 takes down number 4.
You know, it's one thing to play, you know, at 75, 80% when you're a quarterback, you know, but when you're a running back, not to have that burst, that's tough.
3rd down and 6.
2 sacks already, both with 5-man rushes. Let's see what they do this time.
5-receiver group. Bo Nix all by his lonesome. And it's getting lonesome, and now with his legs, he's going to get the first down. That's what he needs to do, and do relatively often today in that kind of fashion, anyway, to pick up a first down.
Pete Golding kind of gave him a changeup this time. He brought the middle linebacker, but dropped the defensive end. Put a little pressure on Bo, but that's it. As Ness said, that is the play that can help start this Auburn offense.
Bo had 44 yards and a touchdown on the ground in this game a year ago. There's Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator for Alabama. So first down at the 32. Quick throw out to Stove. Got a couple. Before he's running out of bounds.
And Pete's having a first here today. Without Nick Saban in his ear for every defensive call, he's saying, you know, it's going to be a little different without the coach in my ear all the time. And I got the feeling like Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt is going, man, I wish I had one of those days.
Jamie, what was it Pete Golding told you about what he'd be different today?
He said 2 things that he's going to miss hearing, which is we can't play this much man and got to force the RPO. So there you go, Pete Golding. I said it for you.
Those old defensive coordinators go, oh, I'd like to have one day where I could just not have Nick in my ear.
2nd down and 8. And we're going to take a timeout here by Auburn. With 3:12 remaining in the first quarter. Alabama's got a long touchdown. Auburn's trying to answer when we come back.
Adam Zucker with this Papa John's update. Number 3 Clemson already up 10-0 midway through the first quarter on Pitt, the last team to beat them at home. It's a flea flicker, and Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't played since October 24th, he's still got it. To Cornell Powell, 17-0 lead for the Tigers as we go back to the Iron Bowl.
That touchdown pass almost as wide open as Devontae Smith was in this one. Zook, 7-0 here. College football playoff top 10, which came out on Tuesday. Alabama consensus #1. Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State. Their game canceled. That's not going to help their cause. Their margin of error is not too good right now because of the number of games. BYU number 14.
Yeah.
I was a BYU fan. I wouldn't be real happy with
A little
that.
higher. I would have liked to see them about 10.
Yeah, me too. Somewhere in there. They didn't play the schedule that they were originally scheduled to play, but the people that are playing, they're beating up pretty good. Bo Nix on the ground again. Flag down. It's going to come back, I think, but he had a nice run into Alabama territory, but we're probably going to have a holding call. And here it is from Jason Autry.
Holding. Offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
I think Christian Barmore was the guy that got held on that play. And as you were noticing that Christopher Allen might have got dinged a little bit, number 4 on one of those tackles.
I think right there. Maybe the left hand a little bit. Right hand, excuse me. And he's in the tent. Or went in the tent. Ben Davis taking his spot in the Alabama lineup. So that penalty on Keandre Jones backs things up to a 2nd down and 18. Yeah, big pile that's still getting pushed for Tank Bigsby. Tank pops out the back end of it. Maybe got 3 or 4.
So one of the questions I had when we talked to Coach Malzahn about this football game is, you know, you turn the tape on and you watch Lane and Ole Miss do the hurry up and hurt and keep Alabama's defense off balance. Now, we've talked about they've improved and everything, but you know, the guy who wrote the no huddle book is Gus Malzahn. How much would he use it? And he goes, you know, we're going to have to be judicious with it. So far, they have not done it in this game.
Here's a flare pass out to Shivers, who broke 1 tackle, got to the 30, well short of the 1st down. Let's get an update on Christopher Allen. Jamie?
Yeah, Allen's still in the tent with that, what Alabama is calling an upper extremity injury. He's being evaluated, but they're telling me he will return, and he just walked out with his helmet in his hand, so things are looking up.
All right, that's good. He's their leading sacker and tackle for loss defender. So a punt coming up from Aiden Marshall. Devontae Smith back deep. He's already done his damage to the Auburn team here in the 1st quarter. Might have a shot at this one. He'll take it at the 27. Devontae Smith got tripped up. Might have even run into his own guy. Bill Taylor, the long snapper, got down there. Devontae's got a smile on his face. Alabama's got it back. Offensively with a touchdown lead. Tomorrow, NFL on CBS doubleheader action includes a key divisional battle between the Titans and the Colts. Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Jim, Tony, and Tracy will bring you that one as TB12 takes on Patrick Mahomes and company. It all starts noon Eastern. JB, Phil, Boomer, Bill, and Nate. The NFL today, tomorrow doubleheader on CBS.
So after Alabama has taken the top off the defense, now can they run the ball? Let's see if they can get something going.
They fake the run, and down goes Mac Jones. Nice job by the Auburn defense. Big Cat is there with the sack.
You have to feel this Auburn defense is feeling the pressure of getting a stop here. Going down 2 touchdowns this early in the game, you know, it gets to be a shootout, which they don't want today, obviously. Good pressure by that Auburn pass rush. Tough to do on 1st down play action, and they came through.
Big Cat, one of the captains of the team, with his 2nd sack of the season. Forces a 2nd down at 15. Final minute of the 1st quarter. Quick swing pass out. Devontae Smith with a blocker or 2 in front. Devontae Smith's going to get dragged down, but not before he gets a 1st down and a bunch more.
I mean, Devontae gets a quick pass on one of the RPOs. Could have been a run or a pass. He sees the numbers, so Mac throws out here, but watch Mechie, number 8. Stay with his block. Stay with his block.
Forrestall got one too.
Yeah, Forrestall got one. Mechie could have had a little grab there going, but didn't get called, so it's not holding.
It's a 26-yard gain to the 44. Jones off play action again down the middle. That one hopped. Intended for Javon Baker. One of the few errant throws. That one just came out of his hand funny. And they'll bring up second down at 10.
And in comes Kendall Randolph. He's wearing number 85, but he is a tackle. His other number is 60. So he's in the game. So basically you have 6 offensive linemen in the football game.
And there they are. Nice front for Mac Jones and Najee Harris behind him. And it is Najee.
A little confusion there.
Couple yards and that's it.
Either Najee or Mac Jones expected the other one to be on the other side of the quarterback. So far, no space for number 22. We see kind of looks outside, hands it back, but nowhere to go. The Auburn defense so far stopping the run. They've had one bust, cost them 7 points.
That's the end of the first quarter with a score. Top rank Alabama 7, number 22 Auburn nothing. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message and a word from your local station. Set to start the second quarter, and we start it with the penalty marker down as it appears that Auburn jumped off on the cadence of Mac Jones. But let's see if they were drawn.
Offside. Defense, number 44.
There it is. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. First quarter kind of controlled by the defense with the exception of one play.
One play, and that's a bust that cost you. A perfect route, good call. Obviously a pretty easy toss on the play. Both teams are controlling the run pretty well. Alabama doesn't need it as much as Auburn does, it seems to me. I mean, I got to get the quarterback involved, and I will not be surprised if Auburn doesn't try to go a little more up-tempo.
First time Auburn has scored in an Iron Bowl first quarter since 2012. And here's Mac Jones running the ball. Not something he does very often. And he picks up the first down.
Yeah, this play was kind of not by design. You know, I mean, it was going to be a toss out to Devontae Smith. He wasn't open. Mac keeps it, and he's going, where can I find some grass
to land on? He does have one rushing touchdown.
No foul in the play. First down, Alabama.
Wherever the flag was, they pick it up. Alabama at the 32 of Auburn. Slade Bolden, who took over for Jalen Waddle as the third wide receiver, had a little bit of an ankle issue. He is playing. He's not running back punch right now, but he is in the lineup. Play action to Najee Harris and go right back to him in the flat. And he broke the tackle. Najee Harris down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be first and goal, Alabama.
So Alabama has all their big men on the field. They love to pull the guard and run play action pass. Watch them pull the guard across and then watch the catch by Najee. It's a perfect throw, but a nice reaching catch for a running back, and he's tough to tackle.
First and goal at the 7. Another play action, and now a touchdown. John Mechie. Second scoring toss for Mac Jones.
There's a reason why they're scoring in the 40s as an average. They've got so many weapons on first down, play action pass. Mechie patient again, and then he beats McCreary to the bottom of the screen. Don't just run to the open spot. Relax, set up your defender, and then go to the open field. That's good coaching, and the player does it exactly the way he's supposed to. I gotta say, Sark is making some pretty good decisions here so far.
We've got some good guys to make decisions with. He says, well, that's the way it's done. A minute into the second quarter. First, Najee Harris with a stiff arm and a gain of 25 to the 7. And then Mac Jones says, let's go hurry up and let me go to number 8 for the touchdown. 14-0 Crimson Tide.
If you think you know Alabama, there's more. Think entrepreneurs and authors, performers, innovators, and CEOs, shaping our world, inspiring us, making us think differently. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Mac Jones now with 20 touchdown passes on the year, 2 here in the first half so far. 14-0, tied in front. If I was Sean Shivers, I might fair catch one of these. Yeah, maybe should have done that.
Just as good.
Well, let's do Project Smarter, Gary, presented by the Home Depot.
Well, where do you attack? Let's go after a backup in this game. The starting left tackle is out of the game. Here's the matchup right here. Left tackle, Austin Troxell's in the game. Good matchup to take advantage of, and Allen does take advantage of, puts pressure inside. It's been that front with a couple of sacks. Good recognition from a zone defense by Surtain. The Alabama defense has shut down the running game, and that's not good for Auburn.
Normally we have kicks go out of the back of the end zone. We've had 3 kept in play today, and Auburn hasn't handled any of them very well. So their field position after an Alabama kick has not been good. This time from the 19 is one of the better starting positions they had. Ball is out as Bigsby's hit from behind, but it's covered by Auburn. Tim Smith's the guy that ripped it out of there. And on the offensive line, Jones saves the day by covering it.
It is Smith's hand all over it. Rips it out. That's a new way of playing. They watch it in the NFL. Everyone goes for that ball full speed. You see him even punch the ball occasionally.
And now the RPO, and Nix keeps, and he's going to be a yard shy of the first down at the 29. Boygby made the tackle.
Boygby has been a factor in this football game. He didn't take the sack. He's been rushing the passer. That time he stayed with his assignment, played the quarterback, and turned him back inside. Seems like a pretty big third down play here for Auburn.
I'd say, and it's closer to 2 yards than it is 1.
It is.
The throw out to McKees, and he's got a first down. The big fella brought down by Battle, but they do move the chains.
So as Ness said, it's a little farther than a yard, and Chad Morris felt the same way. He wasn't going to run it, give it to the big H-back McGeese. He's a tight end H-back 300-pounder. He moves well, but he came off kind of favoring that right arm a bit on that hit.
He got him out to the 37, though. Luke Deal comes back in. McGeese goes out. Keep our eye on him, as will Jamie.
Really believe that for Auburn to get the offense going here, they might have to go a little bit faster and get the 3 wide receivers involved in the game. Take another look at that hit. I don't know if I would love to do that if you're, but Jordan Battle sticks his head right in there, doesn't he? Tries to get lower than low, and he's taking on 300 pounds.
He did get lower and low, and he hit him right on the wrist. Meanwhile, we're going to get untangled, and we'll be back in a minute.
Adam Zucker, New York, 1 state over from our game. It's the Egg Bowl. The dangerous offense of Ole Miss striking first. Matt Corral at Ontario Drummond. 48 yards and a 7-0 lead. Of course, we're anticipating the postgame podiums as well. Back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, look, thanks. Here it's 14-0 on a couple of Mac Jones touchdown tosses. We've untangled the first down markers, and we're back here with a first down for Auburn at its own 37-yard line.
So if you're Chad Morris calling plays here, what do you make this Alabama defense uncomfortable with? You got to come up with something.
Here's an end around to Schwartz. Maybe that'll do it.
Oh, man, fastest guy in the field got tackled.
Malachi Moore, come on.
Yeah.
He's just getting better every week.
He is. Did not come in, obviously, for spring football. Still earned his spot as a true freshman, and he lays out and gets the fastest man in the field right by the shoe tops.
And a loss on the play, second down at 13. Schwartz now comes in motion before he settles in the slot on the left side. Seth Williams hasn't been a factor. Stove's got a couple of catches.
Yeah, weren't much of a factor in last year's game, but it was a different type of game. As many points as they scored, they only had 8 combined catches, the 3 wide receivers.
Here's Bigsby. That's a decent run that time. It's still going to be third down and long. Christian Barmore, one of the guys, number 58, make the hit along Byron Young. Here's a big third down again. They got the last one on the throw out in the flat to McGee's.
That won't be enough this time on 3rd and 10. No, they got to go downfield, and then that stresses the protection, especially with the injuries at the 2 tackle spots.
Xavier Capers in as an extra receiver. They're all bunched to the top of the screen. And an empty backfield for Bo Nix. On 3rd and 10. Nix over the middle. Got it complete to Schwartz. And Schwartz has got a first down. Ball came out. Surtain has got it for Alabama. Just when something was going right, it went so wrong.
It was a beautifully designed play. They cross Schwartz from the slot. In and out. Get a little pick inside on Surtain. Nice catch on not a perfect throw, but the hit from Jobe right
on the ball,
on the helmet. That one's tough to hold on to. You're not supposed to fumble the football, but when you get hit that hard, they go out.
And Surtain covered it right at the midfield stripe.
The ruling on the previous play is under video review.
They're looking at whether it was targeting, I believe.
Or see if his knee was down while he was getting belted. I don't know. We'll get another look right here. You can see his right ankle is starting to go. His left knee's coming into play right in there too.
Yeah, he might be down, but I was also looking at the helmets colliding as well.
I think he might be down. Gene Steratore is our rules official and the 4th member of our team. Gino, what do you got?
Right now I don't have anything for targeting at all. And it is really close as to whether the ball is moving in the runner's hand prior to the knee going down without becoming loose, or if it's actually out of his control. Couple angles are showing some movement, but you've got to see a loss of control.
Right there, he's still got it cupped in his hand and trying to pin it against his elbow, and there everything happens at the same time.
Yeah, I thought his knee was dragging across the ground myself, to tell you the truth. I was looking at the helmets to see if they collided. It was just a glaze, if at all. I agree with, the more I look at it with Gene on that, but it's pretty close.
If it's good, it's a 13-yard gain on 3rd and 10. If not, it's Alabama's football. And under review, John Bible is our replay official. And as you see, Jason Autry having a long look at what is a very big play here, even though we've still got a lot of football left, almost 11 minutes in the 2nd quarter. But in a game of this magnitude, top 25 matchup, #1 team in the country that already has a 2-touchdown lead. Auburn's holding their breath. Their fans are hoping that they call it down so they can keep the drive alive. And our 2 minutes should just about be up.
Pretty close. Make a decision, right?
Here's a call.
After video review, the runner's knee was down prior to losing possession. It'll be 1st and 10 Auburn at the -49-yard line. The clock will start and ready for play.
There we go. Got the call. And they rule him down, so overturns the fumble and a first down for Auburn. Nick Saban missing his first game. Last time he missed a game, he told us he was a grad assistant in his first coaching job, and it was to attend his dad's funeral. Other than that, 47 years, not missing a game. If you're just joining us or you've been really out of touch all week, guy with 6 national titles is not here due to a positive COVID-19 test. Nick is at home, and Steve Sarkisian is the acting head coach today here in the 85th Iron Bowl. First down, Auburn. Quick throw out to Schwartz. They're trying to get it in his hands, and he wants to keep it in his hands. And he gets wiped out, but he picked up about 8. He's become more of a vertical threat, Gary. They threw a lot of that kind of stuff to him earlier in the year.
Well, you got to do it all in this Gus offense. Chad Morris is running it, but they give you a little bit of everything. First time they've gone really up-tempo. They had a positive first down play. They're in plus territory. This is when you know it's going to come at you.
And I know that was only about a 4-yard gain, but that was probably the best carry for Tank Bigsby so far in this first half.
And a first down, you get a quick screen for, what, 8 or 9 yards, and then you hit them real fast. and you pick up a first down. That fumble overturn really changes the dynamics here for this Auburn football team.
McGee's is back in there, was in motion. They give it to Bigsby again on first down, and they got it down to the 33-yard line. So Auburn's got something working here at the 10-minute mark. They definitely need some points out of this drive, down 2 touchdowns. Change up personnel and a long run again for Capers, the extra receiver who comes down to the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 5. Bigsby cuts outside, trying to get to the edge, and he just can't do it, as Daniel Wright makes a great stop and runs him out of bounds.
Again, you got to give a lot of credit to Bigsby. He does look like he's warming up a bit, but not the guy we saw when he started, middle of the season, breaking all those tackles. Give him all the credit in the world. It's a big game, and he wants to be a part of it, but he's not quite the guy right now.
Shivers back in the backfield as Bigsby comes out. 3rd down and 3. Nix rolls left, throws on the run, incomplete. Going to be 4th down.
I think this is in range, don't you, for Carlson?
Carlson, he's got great range.
Yes. I think they go field goal on this one.
Anders Carlson has hit 7 straight. This time last year, he hit from 43, 43, 44, and 52. He's going to line it up and try a 47-yard field goal.
If I was Alabama, I'd be playing safe here.
Anders Carlson from the 47. Kick out of the way, and it's good. So Auburn had to get something out of that drive. They did. Would have preferred 7, but they'll take the 8th straight field goal hit by Anders Carlson. And they're on the board in Tuscaloosa, but still trail the top-ranked Tide 14-3. He was in charge of election security. So why did the president fire Chris Krebs? You can hear his story only on 60 Minutes tomorrow on CBS. Following our NFL doubleheader here, Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, top-ranked Alabama, a 14-3 lead, but Auburn did get on the board on Carlson's field goal, a 51-yard drive in 12 plays. Took a little over 5 minutes to get the 3 on the board, and now Anders will kick off. And he drills it into the end zone. Alabama will bring it out to the 25. Let's take a look at the Dr. Pepper SEC Conference standings. And we'll look at all the standings here. East and West. Florida on top in the East. Alabama in the West. Those two on a collision course for the SEC Championship game December 19th in Atlanta. If Alabama wins and Texas A&M loses tonight to LSU, Alabama would earn their trip to Atlanta.
And Florida only needs 1 more win to get to Atlanta.
Yep.
Remember a year ago it was 10-10 with 7 minutes ago in the 2nd quarter, and everything broke loose after that.
I guess. Mechie in motion. Mac Jones back to throw. Crossing route complete. Devontae Smith for about 9 before he's brought down by Hall. Here's what the 2nd quarter produced last year. Interception return for a touchdown, a pick 6. Then Jalen Waddle goes 98. Outscored Auburn 28-20. It was a wild one that ended up 48-45. Jones couldn't get out of his hand fast enough to Mechie. And Mechie's got a first down.
So a lot of these are obviously pass plays, but they're designed for one player. If you look at Jalen Waddle right there, who had those 4 touchdowns. But this play is going outside all the way. It's a glorified run. But when you watch Mac Jones, what he does better than he did a year ago, he processes information so fast in the pocket. I mean, we've watched a lot of quarterbacks in this league. I don't know if anybody makes decisions faster than he does when he's got the ball in the pocket.
Najee Harris hasn't gotten rolling, but now he is. Najee Harris into Auburn territory to the 42. His biggest run of the day.
game rolls along, Najee Harris just starts making plays. Last year he carried the ball 27 times for 146. He ran like a man possessed, but no room so far. Auburn has had him bottled up. The one pass, but on the run game, they've shut him down pretty well.
Until that one that picked up 18 to the 42. 1st and 10, Alabama. Midway point, second quarter. Mac Jones looking for more, going deep. Man's there. Devontae Smith is held, and there comes the flag. And it's better than a touchdown. Nehemiah Pritchett grabbed his jersey.
Defense number 14, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, he had him beat. Slot throw, plenty of space to the outside, just grab some jersey and hold on.
So even when he's not catching it, number 6 is affecting everything you do.
Well, that's as tight as you can hold the jersey right there.
He wasn't going to give it up either.
Not letting go.
So first down on the penalty to the 28-yard line.
Javon Baker, number 5, a true freshman in the game, is the widest receiver to the top of the screen.
Throw is going to be out to Devontae Smith. Out the corner. Nice job to knock him out of bounds after only about a 3-yard gain by Christian Tutton. Touchdowns to Devontae. A lot of guys have done it. Bryce Young. Probably had Tagovailoa starting for Maryland. Jalen Hurts. Tua 18. Mac 12.
You know, our little dude do things smarter. There it is. Smart to throw to that guy.
No kidding. Second down and 6. Smith comes into the backfield. They fake it to him. Jones has to step up in the pocket and loft one. And it's a touchdown. And it's Jaleel Billingsley. The coming out party was last week for Billingsley. His first touchdown comes here on his home field.
Watch Mac Jones. The subtle ride up into the pocket allows this to happen. He can feel the pressure from behind. He moves up in the pocket, and that gives him the time to hit the corner route to the tight end. That you can't teach. That's just a feel in the pocket, and then you've got that matchup on a safety, Sherwood with the hybrid H-back, and that's a nice throw to the outside like that. Nobody but the tight end going against the safety. A fun touchdown throw.
Happy number 19, his first score in an Alabama uniform. And it comes on Mac Jones' 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. Top-ranked Alabama, 21-3.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on all of today's action, including undefeated Northwestern off the 17-7 win over Wisconsin. They've already allowed 17 to Michigan State. Definitely at risk at 17-3. Back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, Zook, we'll see you at halftime. Let's take another look at the touchdown from our AT&T 5G pylon cam. As you see Jaleel Billingsley coming right at you, the fingertip catch and into the end zone. 3rd touchdown in the last 3 possessions now for Alabama. And a 3 and out at the beginning, and now it's 3 straight touchdowns.
I can just tell you, throwing that pass myself, that corner route to the tight end is a comfortable throw. A lot of space out there, a lot of miss area. It's just a real easy toss.
Well, this time it's a good return for Sean Shivers. And decent field position for Auburn, but now they're in an 18-point hole. Our aerial coverage above Bryant-Denny Stadium today provided by Goodyear. Obviously, we won't have 100,000 people here like we normally would for an Iron Bowl. Got about 19 or 20, whatever, watching their team roll to a 21-3 lead.
And if Auburn's not careful, this has the feel of that Georgia game we did where they were down 24-0 in that first half against Georgia. Could never make it a football game. Right now they know Alabama's going to get the ball in the second half. They need to drive here bad.
Bixby got away from the first man. His most productive run after breaking a tackle. And there was a time earlier this season where he had broken more tackles than any other back in the country before he got the hip hit in the Tennessee game, but picked up 6 there.
And they have to keep doing that because they need that as part of their offense to throw the ball well. To get the wide receivers and the H-backs and the tight end involved, they need a little bit of run to help.
Here's Pegues, the big H-back tight end down the bottom of the screen, split out as a wideout. Here's a sidearm throw out to Stove. Little hesitation, picks up the first down before the defense will drop him. But he got it out to the 45.
That's that kind of RPO offense when you throw the last one right at the, everybody's got it now, but when I first saw it, I go, wait, is that fair? I didn't even know they had those.
That looked like shortstop to second base, whatever, but it got a first down. Stove goes out.
Late substitution by Auburn, so they allow the Alabama defense to choose, and Alabama says, no, we're good.
Center Judge trots backwards, gets out of the line of fire on first down. Bo Nix wanted to go deep. Overshot. Seth Williams.
Had a chance for him. Would have taken a perfect throw. Job's in coverage, tight coverage. Outside release goes inside. Ball's just a bit high. Those are a couple throws like that. Those one-on-one coverages that this Alabama defense kind of challenges. It says, can you make this throw? Because we're going to play bump and run out here a lot. If you can make that throw, you're going to gain some yards.
Seth Williams does not have a catch yet. With 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Shivers lassoed and dumped by Phil Mathis. Going back to the previous play. Oh, I didn't see. He had the
undershirt. He had the undershirt. Got away with it.
Yeah, he did.
That came from Gene. Obviously, Gene doesn't have leftover turkey. He's watching the game very closely.
No tryptophan in that guy.
He's ready. He saw that.
He's wide awake.
Yelled to the truck. We got a late replay on it.
They're down at 10. Schenker all the way over the slot on the motion. The throw is too high again for Seth Williams. So, Gene, we a belated happy Thanksgiving, by the way. We're kidding around with you. So it's fourth down. And it'll bring out the punting unit again. Alabama now, as we're almost 2 quarters in, has not given up a touchdown in the last 11 quarters. After people were questioning their defense earlier this season, Alabama had to take a timeout as they were trying to get a guy off the field.
Timeout, Alabama.
One too many guys out there, I think, for Alabama, with 4:15 remaining in the half. Well, let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac trivia question. See Steve Sarkisian on the Alabama sideline before Nick Saban, who was the last Alabama head coach. High kick, fair catch, had to be called for immediately. That was a mile in the air for Devontae Smith to take it around the 17-yard line. Alabama with the ball back and an 18-point lead. Next Saturday, CBS college basketball season begins with a bang. Number 2 Baylor battles number 1 Gonzaga. Gonzaga's got a couple big wins already. We'll get you set for the tip-off with Inside College Basketball at 12:30 Eastern. That's all next Saturday here on CBS.
I think you could do that game and still jet into our game next week.
Thanks a lot. I'll just pass it to Alabama and LSU.
All right.
I'll get to the basketball later. Brian Robinson in the lineup in the backfield for Bama right now for the first time. And he will get the call. And got 4 or 5 out of it with a little push from his offensive lineman. Well, we talked about the big 3 to open the game, and in the last drive.
We saw it, right?
Yep. 18-yard run by Najee.
Pass interference by Devontae, and then a great move by Mack up in the pocket for the pass. Funny how that works. Your best 3 players do well.
And then your unsung tight end catches his first touchdown.
After that, I can catch that one.
2nd and 5. Robinson again. Cuts upfield. Brian Robinson, big gain. Still going. says what he does when he gets his opportunity, because when you're behind Najee Harris, you got to do something when you hit the field, and he usually does.
And so what we haven't talked about is how good this offensive line is doing. This time Landon Dickerson pulls, gets a little chip block on the linebacker outside, and a positive play. And that is an unsung part of, well, it's not really unsung. Everybody knows they have one of the best lines in college football. We just haven't talked about it too much in the game here, but they are mashing away.
On to the 37 with a first down, just 3-minute mark. Brian Robinson again, this time stood up by the Auburn defense. Jacoby McLean was the first guy there. Maybe a pickup of 2. And let's check in with Jamie.
Well, as if Alabama needed any source material to be bugged by Auburn this week, Bo Nix seemingly gave it to them when he said about this Mac Jones. He said he does a great job managing the game, getting the ball to players around him. Now, we know Bo. We know he has best intentions when he says anything, but Alabama wide receivers took ill advice to this when defending. I learned from several people on the team today that the wide receivers were quite annoyed with the analysis of their quarterback.
And they are taking exception very well. Robinson. Pickup of a yard. Well, this time a year ago, Mac Jones was filling in, made 4 starts for Tua Tagovailoa, who was injured. And, you know, he threw for 4 touchdowns last year, but he threw the 2 pick sixes, which was the difference in the ball game. Well, there's a whole difference in this dude this year. He is in total control.
Yes. Actually, he was 26 for 39 in that game for 335. 4 touchdowns ain't bad, but one of them was tough. The other one was kind of off the receiver's back, one of those things that happens every once in a while, but it's tough to watch somebody run 100 yards down the field.
Yeah. He's light years ahead of where he was last year as a fill-in. He is no fill-in anymore. He's a Heisman candidate. He's back to throw again. Deep on the sideline. Mechie off his fingertips. Incomplete.
Well, that time Pritchett did a really good job. The outside, number 4, Nehemiah Pritchett, number 14, bump and run to the outside. He's got a tough matchup, good speed guy, stays with it. Interesting about John Mechie. A year ago when we were talking to Sark in one of our meetings, he was talking about John Mechie, and I was going, Sark, you've got 4 NFL receivers, and you're talking about a freshman? He goes, yeah, he deserves some playing time. That's how good he is.
Well, he blew up on the scene the first time we had him this year. Went for 150 yards receiving last week. And just given the opportunity, he's showing what he can do. Coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have first half analysis and highlights from around the country on the Geico halftime report. And that is 1:23 away.
So the difference in this game so far, with 33 plays for the Auburn offense, they only have 3 plays of more than 10 yards. Alabama's averaging almost 10 yards a play so far in the game. Cannot get any big play. Only 3 for more. The longest of the game is 12 yards for this Auburn offense.
Again, not great field position at the 17. Quick throw out of bounds at the 21 is Stove. With 1:19 to go in the half. Again, Seth Williams has 1 catch for a loss of 4 yards. Their big play receiver. Shivers cuts up. Oh, man. Got pasted at the 25-yard line, but he did have a decent gain. 3rd down and short upcoming. Christian Harris made the tackle as we approach a minute. Auburn has 2 timeouts remaining, as does Alabama. 3rd and 2. Nix has to throw off his back foot, and he threw a strike to Seth Williams. So that's his first positive play and catch.
And it was a spectacular acrobatic throw on this one. He actually did. I don't even know if he threw it off his back foot. He jumped to throw the ball. And that, the biggest play of the game.
Oh, man.
What a play by Bo Nix.
He got popped too, but a pickup of 16. He'll take that hit anytime. They get a first down at the 42.
Got 2 timeouts, under a minute, still got a chance.
A really good field goal kicker. If they can get him in range, at least to get something positive before the break. Nix going deep. Got a man out there. Got him. Oh!
My
Seth
goodness.
Williams dropped it. It would have been a touchdown, I think.
Bo Nix took a hit as he let the ball go. He could feel the pressure, and he throws, the same route that Devontae Smith ran. He baited the safety, Daniel Wright, and this time Smith catches it, and Williams does not.
And Bo is going. Okay, let's come back to the line of scrimmage and try that again.
Gotta make that play to beat Alabama. You only get so many chances.
Nix, and this time it is caught.
Talked about how comfortable it looks to me that Bo Nix has improved his passing. Saw it in the Tennessee game. He was just letting it rip. He is now a pocket passer. Watch this ball. Travels about 25 yards on a rope.
That one was complete to Kobe. Then the overthrow is incomplete to Shedrick Jackson. Well, we asked you the Aflac trivia question a little bit earlier. And it was prior to Nick Saban, who was the last Alabama head coach. Joe Kines, a tricky one, interim coach after Mike Shula was relieved of his head coaching duties. So we've got another trick one there for you.
There you go. They're all fair in Aflac.
Yeah.
I've only been rushing 3 so far in this drive. Let's see if they bring more. Not really. It's a spy. Really. 3 and a spy.
And the spy is getting there. Nick's got around him, threw back across his body, and lucky he didn't have it picked off.
It's lucky, but at this point in the game, when you're down 21-3, you got to take chances. I mean, something bad might happen, obviously, but just safe, easy throws aren't going to work. He hit that sideline pass on a jump ball, beautifully set up, kind of hitch and go or dig and go to Williams' perfect pass, and right now you got to let her fly. You got to get back in the ball game.
3rd down and 10. You see the line to give Anders Carlson a chance for a long field goal is not that far away, but they would love the end zone, which is farther away. 20 seconds left in the half.
Remember, we talked about the bracket that Auburn had. Here's the bracket on this play. Corner and the safety on Williams. Same route. In and go. Touchdown, right? Should have been.
Would have been, could have been a 58-yard touchdown. Instead, it's 3rd down and 10. You don't want to turn it over here. At least give your kicker a shot before halftime. Nix throws, and it is intercepted by Alabama. Malachi Moore.
The true freshman covering the slot. That's now his 3rd of the year. He's got Anthony Schwartz. He's a speed guy, but this time Malachi reads the route, undercuts it, and makes the play. What a baller he is, huh?
He's already special, and he's only a freshman. So the last thing I just mentioned that Auburn didn't want to have happen just happened. Alabama's got it back to take a knee, to head to the locker room, and they will receive the second half kickoff as well. So just when it looked like Auburn could maybe at least make it 21-6, no shot. Top-ranked Alabama looking like the top-ranked team in the country here in the 85th Iron Bowl. 21-3, the end of the half. Jamie's halftime interview, you can go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. But right now, with a 21-3 lead, we go to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio.
All right, Ness, one-sided so far. Coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, we'll get you all caught up on what's already been a historic day in college football after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, gobble, gobble, and hello, everyone. Welcome to the Geico Halftime Report. Adam Zucker along with Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones. The score in Tuscaloosa, 21-3. Auburn had a chance there at the end of the half, but Alabama making all the plays today.
Mac Jones is putting on a clinic. Let me show you exactly how. You want to learn how to teach your kids how to pump fake? Watch this. And watch Smoke Monday bite on this pump fake. Remember, he had the pick 6 a week ago. He wants another one. Nah,
and last year.
Don't do that. Devontae Smith goes right by him. That's touchdown number 1. Get down in the red zone. How about a little play action and then drop it to the back line? That's what you want to do, as he does to John Mechie. How about climb in the pocket and then drop a dime to Billingsley? Jaleel Billingsley, who becomes a new favorite weapon.
This isn't a one-sided affair, okay, Rick? You play defense as well there in Tuscaloosa, and they're getting after Bo Nix. A couple of sacks on the afternoon already. Here again, come up and be a sure tackler. Boom, no gain on that play for Seth Williams. And we know Tank Bigsby is not right, and he's definitely not right after not being able to get to the edge there. You look at this Alabama defense, guys, 0 TDs in their last 11 quarters. Longest active streak in FBS. This is the Bama defense of old right now.
Yeah, and Auburn only scored 3 in the first half against Georgia as well, so some of the bigger games. Hey, you want some offense? You think Trevor Lawrence was ready to rip it after 5 weeks without a game for all kinds of reasons?
He said, Coach, call it, Coach. Yeah, that flea flicker. That guy will be wide open. Yes, he was. That guy was Cornell Powell. That got Clemson off to a fast start. How about this guy, Travis Etienne? I want the ball, too. He does get it right there. 24-0 Clemson. That was the first quarter.
They had 31 in the first quarter, 38-3 right now. As for the Gators, Kyle Trask had his favorite target back, BJ.
Yeah, if you're playing inside technique, don't let the receiver go inside. But Kyle Pitts said, I can go inside, outside, doesn't matter. Second game with at least 3 touchdowns this season. Go ahead and flex, young man. Oh, here he comes again. Look, quick slant. I got it. Just throw it out front. I'll go grab it. Rock the baby. And then with his family. Baby's hanging out with his family.
He was a baby, too, once.
The baby, no toddler.
On top of the East. Hey, Northwestern, undefeated, number 8 in an early hole against Michigan State.
I think I told you about this potential right here, BJ. Rocky Lombardi finds Jalen Naylor for 75 yards in pay dirt. 7-0. They're up 17-6. Late first half.
You picked Northwestern, but you made Michigan State your upset.
I don't recall any of that.
Hey, tough one here. Michael Penix from Indiana, not walking too well after this.
Yeah, no definitive answer on the severity of his injury as far as Tom Allen, his comments after the ball game. Here's Stevie Scott's going to take the direct snap. 3rd rushing touchdown of the day, and we hope the best for Michael Penix.
Yeah, Indiana getting a safety and 3 interceptions on Talia Tagovailoa as well. But, yeah, so Northwestern.
Well, this is a topsy-turvy Big Ten now. With the news about Ohio State, their game not being canceled today, canceled, and now we're in a situation, who's going to make it to the Big Ten championship game? Who's eligible to make it to the Big Ten championship game? And now the team that everybody thought was the undefeated one, 8th in the playoff poll, is struggling at halftime.
Well, I think we can punch the ticket of Florida making it to the SEC championship game out of the East, because with Kyle Pitts back in the fold, not that they lost any shine off of that offense with him being out, but now having him back in the fold bodes well for them.
All right, coming up here, we're going to show you how history was made in Missouri and a performance for the ages in Buffalo when the Geico Halftime Report continues.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut, The Home Depot, Jeep, and by Geico.
All right, welcome back to the Geico Halftime Report. Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS coming your way with either 5th-ranked Texas A&M taking on number 22 Auburn or 6th-ranked Florida against Tennessee. It all begins with State Farm College football today at 3 Eastern. Then in an added primetime bonus, top-ranked Alabama visits LSU as the Tide looks to avenge last year's loss to the defending national champs. As we go back to the highlights, it's a whole new Egg Bowl. Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Rick, to the air we go.
Matt Corral getting off to an excellent start. Here he finds Dontario Drummond for a 48-yard touchdown.
That was an omelet with cheese.
It's 21-7 now.
Beating that omelet, man. What's wrong with you?
How about a special day in the SEC and a game that Missouri did win easily over Vanderbilt?
Larry Roundtree III. Yes, easy little touchdown there, but It's Sarah Fuller time. Fresh off an SEC soccer championship versus the top Hogs, Arkansas. Little design squib kick here. High fives from the team, the family. Everybody's happy for Sister Sarah Fuller.
And she becomes the first woman to play in a Power 5 football game. Unfortunately, that was her only shot because Vanderbilt never got in her field goal range or scored a touchdown. She wore a "Play Like a Girl" sticker on the back of her helmet and had this message after the game.
I just want to tell all the girls out there that you can do anything you set your mind to. You really can. And if you have that mentality all the way through, you can do big things. So.
Big smile right there. Very cool. All right, also earlier on CBS Sports Network, another monster day for Jared Patterson, Rick. Hold on tight.
Yes, just watch Jared Patterson go. This time for 49 yards. This next chance you'll see him go for 58 yards. This is Jared Patterson Day in Buffalo. 8 touchdowns. Count them. 8 touchdowns. Formula 409. That's right. How many yards did he have? 409.
And the 8 touchdowns ties the FBS record set 30 years ago. Beats Melvin Gordon by 1 yard. Couldn't get to Samaje Perine, but what an amazing performance. He had over 300 last week.
30 years ago. We getting old. Because that was Howard Griffith, my homeboy, back 30 years ago. Phenomenal. Back-to-back games for Patterson. Over 300 yards. He is playing his way into the next level.
The game also gives the Bulls the leg up now to win the East and get to that championship game in the MAC.
How about the SEC West and what Auburn has to do to get some double digits on the board?
Well, they're going to have to get back into third down conversions. They're going to have to get a throwing game. They need to be the first team to score in the second half.
Their playmakers have to make plays. Seth Williams, the ball's right there, man. You got to come down with that. And Bo Nix, that interception, put the ball on the outside where only your guy can get it.
Yeah, Alabama gets the ball to start the second half. That'll do it from here in New York. We thank you for watching. Coming up, the second half of the Iron Bowl. Happy Thanksgiving weekend.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Alabama, a 21-3 lead over Auburn in the Iron Bowl here at halftime. And now it's time for a taste of tradition presented by Sonic. Here's Jamie.
Brad, the 2010 Iron Bowl is famously remembered by Auburn fans as the comeback. Trailing 24-0, eventual Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton led a furious rally that culminated in a 28-27 Tiger win. The winning score was a TD pass to tight end Philip Lutzenkirchen, whose celebration dance instantly became known as the Lutzie. Sadly, Lutzenkirchen died in a car crash 4 years later. To honor him, his family established the Lutzie 43 Foundation to end distracted and impaired driving. Here, on the 10th anniversary of the game, the foundation created the Lutzie Dance Challenge, where fans have a chance to put their best foot forward as a way to remember one of the most iconic moments in Tiger football history.
And Jamie, just a couple of weeks ago, Philip's youngest sister Abby got engaged to Alabama tight end Miller Forrestall. They'll be doing the Lutzie in a household divided in the future. 21-3 Alabama.
The dream is alive. Remains undefeated. It is a touchdown! How about that?
And Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us into quarter number 3. Third quarter kickoff just about set to happen here. Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Top-ranked Alabama with a 21-3 lead in the Iron Bowl over number 22 Auburn. And Alabama will start from the 25-yard line as we welcome you back to the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. Rivalry games, big games like this, you make the plays when they're there and you win. You let the plays slip through your fingers, you lose.
Yeah, it had to be disheartening for Auburn in that game. I mean, first half, they could have come back, put 10 points on the board. They held Alabama to 46 yards rushing. They controlled the offense. The big plays have killed them.
What do you think Nick's thinking in his office at home?
I think if he had one call, he'd say, no, I'm good. I'm very proud of my football team. They're playing good football right now.
And they started at 25-yard line. With Najee Harris. Najee broke one tackle, cuts it outside, and he's going to get a first down or very close to it as we check in with Jamie Erdahl.
Well, I caught up with Gus Malzahn going into the half. He said Auburn was sleepwalking in the first quarter before they woke up, and they're going to have to put points on the board before they even get to the fourth quarter. I wanted to touch on what Steve Sarkisian looked like to me in the first half. We've had Alabama several times this year. His behavior has been so similar to what he usually does as the offensive coordinator. Nothing different there, but let's keep in mind what Nick Saban said yesterday. He just wants to be left alone in his house watching this game.
Here's Mac Jones off a play fake, has to throw it in the dirt. Najee Harris hits him in the ankle as he didn't want a intentional grounding call. Roger McCreary was applying the pressure. The best thing for Auburn would be to get Alabama off the field on a 3-and-out to open the third quarter. The first half trends: 3 touchdown passes for Mac Jones, up to 21 on the year. Devontae Smith over 100 in the first half again. And Bo Nix, 95 yards and a very costly interception. We talked so much about the last couple of minutes of the second quarter, the first couple of minutes of the third quarter. Auburn turned it over in the last couple of minutes of the first half. Let's see if they can get a stop here in the first couple of minutes of the third quarter. Third down.
I think that's a good point Jamie made. The thing that Sarkisian could make a mistake on is trying to do too much. Do your own job, make sure you're in control of the offense, and let the head coaching decisions happen when they happen. Concentrate on what you do best, and there might not be a better play caller in college football than Steve right now.
On third down and 6. Jones flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run, incomplete, intended for Mechie, and so Auburn does get off the field, and they'll turn it back over to their offense with a punt coming.
Well, they're going to get a chance. We finished the half. They get a 3-and-out. They get the stop right there. They're going to get the offense back with the football. Gus had to do some work with his football team at halftime. You got to believe they went in going, oh my goodness. We had a chance to make it 21-10. We dropped the ball, getting down. That's when the head coach has to pick everybody up and say, we can still make this a game. Let's get a stop and get to the fourth quarter with it still possible for a football game.
Scott, his first punt since the opening possession. Stove will handle it back there around the 25-yard line. So Auburn set to go to work offensively from there. Tomorrow, come together for a royal night of fun with Eddie Murphy in Arsenio Hall in Coming to America on the CBS Sunday Night Movies. Tomorrow on CBS. One of the great comedies ever, and I understand they're putting a sequel together that's going to be out soon. So you want to watch the first one if you haven't seen it before you see number 2. Auburn first down. 25.
Can they find some help for Bo Nix?
Baby Tank Bigsby trying to get to the edge. And he got 5 or 6 out of it.
Remember, the help also, anytime they're able to do that, a bit helps that injured and nicked offensive line. Rodarius Hamm, number 59, is playing, but he's nicked. They lost Alex Johnson. Earlier in the year, they lost Brandon Council. It's a offensive line that's a patchwork right now.
Yeah, it is. Shivers got a couple. Third down and 2 or 3 coming up.
Remember last time on 3rd and short like this situation, they went to the big guy. The guy's number 89 out in the flat.
Right now he's set up in the backfield.
Yes, Wildcat.
Now he shifts out of that. Nix comes back into that spot. And he's telling Shivers, get over to my left, will you? I need some help over there. Play fake. Deep ball in the middle, and it's complete on the run. Shedrick Jackson. So there's the big play they've been looking for, and they got it.
Yes. Again, 3rd and 2. Last time they threw the short pass, this time they give them a different look. They need something to break the game open. You got to believe it. Alabama's saying, let's stop the 3rd and 2, and they throw the ball down the field. A really well-designed play and a good throw.
37 to the 30, and now they go a little bit hurry up. Looked like they were going to. They slow it back down.
If I'm calling plays, I'm thinking 4-down territory, using all 4 downs for a first down.
Delayed blitz coming. Is a fade to the corner, incomplete, intended for Schwartz. Alabama brought, I think it was Jordan Battle from the secondary on a delayed blitz to put a little heat on Bo Nix.
Had the right play on, but it was well defended. Had a slot fade to the outside, tried to pick him just a bit, but they did not succeed.
2nd down and 10. Stove in motion. Set up in the slots. That's where the throw is going. Sidestep one guy, but he can't get away from everybody else.
Boy, Daniel Wright from the safety position, running down what they call the alley. He saw the play right away, and he just hit it full speed. That disrupted the play. Watch him just attack the football. Here he comes from the secondary. His presence, there's no lane to run in, and allows the pursuit to come from the inside to make the stop.
And it forces 3rd down. 11 quarters now without allowing a touchdown.
Thinking maybe quarterback draw something, try to get it up there, get half of this.
Nix over the middle on a crossing route. Wow, what a hit on Stove.
Not sure they got enough to go for it on 4th down. They're going to go field goal.
Brian Branch with a big-time tackle.
Nice catch. The ball was behind. Those are tough to catch. A short throw like that. The ball's not near a long time. And Stove makes a nice grab, but not enough to go for it. Going to have to go field goal.
Anders Carlson hit from 47 earlier. He's hit 8 straight field goals. This one will be from 45 out. And he got it just inside the right upright. So Auburn's defense did their job. The offense does their job in the opening 4.5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Get anything you can on the board to cut into the lead, and they did. Our aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Goodyear. You look in on Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Tide's lead has been cut into by a field goal. And boy, they got to work quickly on getting those.
Yes.
Get well, Coach Saban
Get well
masks.
soon. There you go. He says he's well.
Yeah,
it's just positive. It doesn't matter how well you are.
Maybe they made those masks 6 weeks ago and put them in the portal until today. Here's a kick return by Brian Robinson. And Robinson gets it out around the 22-yard line. Wednesday on CBS, SEAL Team returns with a 2-hour premiere starting at 8 Central on CBS. As you look around our pylon cam, out to the 22-yard line, Alabama going to work. They haven't worried about time of possession too much. Coach Saban said last week in his press conference after Kentucky had the ball for a long time, he said, you don't get points or wins for time of possession. And they haven't had to have as much time of possession as Auburn today to get their 21 points with a big strike offense. Maybe looking for more here down the middle and caught. And the umpire hits the deck as Forrestal does as well. Pickup of about 9.
Staple of everyone's offense right now. You cross the receivers underneath the tight end. The tight end hooks right behind it. And if the umpire could get out of the way, you'd have an easy completion. Led him just a bit. Forrestal stopped in the zone, and Mike Jones thought he was going to keep coming across.
Nice tackle by the umpire. Brings up 2nd and 1. Najee Harris, big opening on the left side. Najee out across the 40, close to the 43-yard line.
Well, Dickerson, Brown, and Leatherwood, Nessa at the left side. Watch these guys just move it. Run towards the bubble. The bubble's on the left, and they just hit away. Najee took a big hit on that play. Got up a little slowly on it.
Ooh,
yeah, his left foot, left ankle. Yes.
That didn't look good. Brian Robinson comes in for him. Here's Forrestall in motion. He was part of that blocking trio on that left side. Jones got it to Devontae Smith. Open field. One man to beat. You could forget about it. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama. .58 yards for the score.
Stack him up a bit. Devontae goes out like he's blocking, and then he just throws McCreary away, gets into the secondary, and it's not just Jalen Waddle that can take it to the house.
That's for sure.
A short, perfect throw. When you throw those slants on the money like that, those receivers can take it and run. He's got the feel on the field of those elite receivers, the Amari Coopers, you know, that catch the ball in stride and just keep going.
Reichard's extra point is good.
As Jamie said, he worked on his 1 foot speed. Both feet were going fast on that one.
Steve Sarkisian says he's one of the quietest guys on the team, but when he says something, people listen. Well, they're listening all around the country because he just hit from long range again. 4 touchdowns for Jones, 2 to Devontae Smith. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Modelo, Smile Direct Club, State Farm, and by Zaxby's. 78-yard drive in just 3 plays as Mac Jones, for the 4th time this year, has 4 or more touchdown passes in a game. And that guy's got 8 in the last 3. Today from 66 and 58 yards out. He's already the SEC all-time touchdown reception leader. He now has 35. He broke the tie with Chris Doering and Amari Cooper last week, and he just keeps adding to it. Shivers on the return out to the 29.
Ness, 3 words: design, patience, and accuracy on this play. The design is they know that that's man-to-man, and here's man-to-man. Now watch the patience by the line of scrimmage, Devontae Smith. Patient, 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 and then the accuracy of the throw, and then your best player on the field takes it to the house. The quarterback says, Sark, got you on that one. Great design, just like you said, it worked perfectly.
Mac Jones now has 22 touchdown passes on the year. And Auburn in a big hole now, 28-6 with 9 to go in the 3rd. Bonens, the throw to the outside. Shavers makes a tough catch. Out to the 34-yard line. Najee Harris went into the Alabama tent and has come back out. Again, there's a look at that lower left leg. They got tangled up in traffic on the low hit.
He got it out of the ground just before it could have been a lot worse.
Ugh. McGee's, the big fella, shifts over. Schwartz in motion. They'll flip it out to Schwartz, trying to get him on the edge with great speed. They do. He got to midfield and then got shoved all the way to the Gatorade buckets over there by Josh Jobe. Najee with helmet in hand. It looks like the left ankle has been retaped heavily. By the way, he leads the country in rushing touchdowns with 16. Doesn't have one today. There's a nice throw to Schwartz again.
That's backing up again. That's the second of those throws. One to the sideline. This time backing up, giving up ground, waiting for the last player to get open, and delivers a nice throw downfield.
And a sidearm throw this time to Schwartz. Auburn's just going as hurry up as they can and flip it out to number 1.
It is the amazing, man, the growth of Bo Nix from a year ago. You know, shy guy trying to earn his spot. understands the history of Auburn football. His dad played quarterback, comes in, but now he feels like it's his team.
Just needs a little bit of help, though. Pump fake. In trouble. Down he goes.
Throw it away. Gimmick call. Stopped by Alabama. They tried to do the same thing. A hitch and go that Bama used. This time it was defended. Then you got to bail out the play caller.
Anderson and Allen dropping for a loss.
Watch, they faked the quick screen to the top. They're trying to go long. It's there, it's not there. Nothing to throw to. Get rid of it. Just see it a little bit early so you don't lose that type of unmet.
Actually looked like they're trying to get Pegues on a wheel route out there at 300 pounds.
Remember, he was blocking the play before for Schwartz on the play, but it did not work. You got to get out of it.
And that's 3rd and 14. Shivers said, I got Anderson. He's coming off the edge. That's Stove in motion, and now Auburn's going to take a timeout. With 6:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Don't want to waste an opportunity in Alabama territory.
Prior to the play clock expiring, timeout, Auburn. First.
So we'll take a timeout with them and be right back to Tuscaloosa after this.
Play action fake, then he pumps, throws long, Devontae wide open.
Jones has to step up in the pocket and loft one, and it's a touchdown. And it's Jaleel Billingsley. Some of the highlights of Mac Jones and his offense for Alabama with a 28-6 lead. And Auburn took a timeout with a 3rd down and 15. That's what they're looking at right now. 3 completions to Anthony Schwartz on this drive. Have to get all the way to the 24, though, for a first down. Nix over the middle, knocked down.
Man, hit him right in the face mask.
Christian Harris.
Play-by-play announcer at the stadium said knocked down by Christian. He almost got knocked down by it.
So they're going to come out and try a long field goal. Putting it on their kicker. This would be a career long for Anders Carlson.
I don't know what this helps him for. I just would rather throw the ball 15 yards downfield, tell you the truth, if I was Auburn right now.
His career best is 52. And this one's wide left by a mile from 56. Yeah. So nothing out of that possession. Still 28-6. Next Saturday, SEC on CBS comes your way with either 5th-ranked Texas A&M against this Auburn team or number 6 Florida and Tennessee. Then in primetime matchup between Alabama and LSU under the lights at Tiger Stadium. All starts for the college football today with Adam and the guys at 3 Eastern next Saturday, SEC on CBS. So that is a game that we were supposed to do a couple of weeks ago.
Yep. Got it replayed. Just found out that got rescheduled, a little shuffling.
A little bit of shuffling by the SEC offices and putting people back together for next week's action. Jones on a toss to Najee Harris. And Najee looks okay on that wheel that was retaped. McCreary brought him down. Little shake and bake. McCreary there with him to upend him after a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. On a crosser, it's Mechie. And he's got a first down, I think, right at the line. Well, we talked about 4 touchdown passes from Mac Jones today, which gives him 22 on the year. So take a look at some of the top quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence back in action today, had a good day. Justin Fields, their game was canceled. Kyle Trask is up to 34 touchdowns with 3 interceptions as Mac Jones sneaks for a first down. You can add a couple other guys probably to that list.
Well, after yesterday, Ian Book deserves to at least be mentioned as top quarterback.
He's doing nothing but winning.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilson having a great year for BYU, and we feel that they've been shortchanged by the College Football Committee to only be ranked 14th. So those are some of your top signal callers. I would guess Kyle Trask right now, if you just look at pure numbers, would be the forerunner for the Heisman. But
well, I think what Mac's doing today and the way they continue to win and the numbers he's putting on, there's no doubt he's in the middle of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Justin and Trevor, everybody knew about those, but a couple surprises here. Mac playing at a very high level, and of course,
just throw it to this guy. Just throw it to this guy. And out of bounds with another first down.
That's his. And, you know, Auburn has done a good job with the opponent's top receivers in the last few games, but this Alabama team has so many different weapons and can get the ball to their playmakers in so many different ways. It's hard to concentrate on anyone on this football team.
I'm going to give you a number, Devontae Smith, after this snap. If nothing big happens, and ask you a question, partner. First and 10. Najee Harris. Najee Harris will take it. Touchdown, Alabama.
I think that falls into something big, though, right?
Something happened. 17th rushing touchdown of the year for Najee Harris.
Really cool designed play this time. Alabama goes on balance line to the left. They catch Auburn in the wrong gaps. They gash it. It always doesn't have to be a pass play. Sometimes a well-designed run can steal the points. Landon Dickerson, the center.
Najee just said, you know, my ankle's fine.
Yeah, I'm good. That's what I say. Weapons all over the field, and they use them all.
Reichard's extra point is good. 35-6. One of the seniors today. One of the seniors that came back to be a leader. Well, he's a leader in the clubhouse for rushing touchdowns. That was number 17. 35-6 tied.
It's the Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Brad and Gary were just discussing the best trophy in the business. Trevor Lawrence's first half in over a month. 302 yards and 2 touchdowns before the break. 38-10 right now, third quarter. And Kyle Trask, 3 touchdown passes against Kentucky today. All 3 to his star tight end, Kyle Pitts. Back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, Zuck, thanks. So there's the numbers on 2 of the guys we were talking about. Najee Harris is closing in on 900 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns on the season. You got to start thinking maybe Doak Walker Award there. And I got something else. I didn't have a chance to tell you.
That isn't where you were going.
No, that's not where I was going.
One more look at the big guys up front. I know you like to watch good blocking. Watch this blocking. The flow goes to the left. Center gets on the linebacker. Right here, a double team. And then the cut behind the blocks. That's what does it. A beautiful block. Landon Dickerson helps to his right and then fits on the middle linebacker. Helps his guard, fits on the linebacker, and Najee just feels it into the end zone.
I will ask you this. Who have you seen that's a better running back than that guy so far this year? We watch a lot of ball. I don't know if I've seen anybody.
No, not that can do it all.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Catch the ball out of the backfield, protection-wise, smart, great team leader, and when he has the ball, he's tough to tackle. Yeah, I think he's the best package out there.
Here's Nix on a crossing route. Williams, he got buried after trying to put a spin move out there in the middle of the field.
I mean, it's hard to find a weakness on this Alabama team. I mean, they play about 9, front defensive linemen that rotate in. They're fresh all the time. Their safeties are skilled. They got 2 young, true freshmen that are great athletes at the slot that are playing defense. How about that throw?
Almost intercepted as he was falling down. Being helped to the ground by Tim Smith.
Malachi Moore and Bryant, 2 true freshmen, fit into the secondary to give him some new blood back there. But you're right, Tim Smith got in there. He's another true freshman, by the way, number 50, getting some playing time in at that nose tackle position.
Bo trying to improvise there at the end. And he actually did hit his receiver in the hands, and then Patrick Surtain almost had an interception as well. 3rd down and 6.
I didn't mention him. Surtain, a lockdown first-round draft pick corner on the field.
5-man rush. Nix running for his life. And incomplete, intended for his tight end. It's 4th down.
The 5-man rush has been a problem for the Auburn team all through the game. Now remember, again, let me point out, 2 reserve tackles in the football game. Troxel and Coffey are in for Ham and Jackson. Their best offensive lineman, Council, hurt early in the year. So this is a team that only returned really 1 starting offensive lineman, Nick Brahms at center. So this has been a patchwork. It started out slow. They started the game steam, but the injuries have taken that offensive line down for Auburn.
No doubt. Chapman's punt down around the 32 to Devontae Smith on the fair catch. Tuesday at 6 Eastern, we switch from the pitch to the hardwood for some college hoops action. Navy travels to take on Patrick Ewing and his Georgetown Hoyas. Catch it all on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Good to hear that theme music too, but right now we're concentrating on football, trying to anyway.
And right now this Alabama team, the way they're playing is making a statement, thinking back to the only undefeated Alabama team, the 09 team. That was a loaded defensive team that won the championship.
Devontae Smith in motion on 1st down at the 32. And this time only a couple-yard gain for Najee Harris. And the architect of the offense.
Like that?
That's good. Not too bad. Come in averaging 49 points a game. It would be a school record that they have broken 2 years in a row if they keep the pace that they're on right now.
He came to Alabama, not back to Alabama. That happened later in 2016 when he came as an analyst, kind of to fill in, work under Nick Saban. That's the year that Lane Kiffin left. He coached the national championship game as the offensive coordinator, left for the Falcons, and he's come back.
A little slip screen out to Mechie, and Mechie got a couple out of that, but that's about it. You know, it was interesting. Something Sark told us yesterday. He talked about after the 2 years of the Falcons and coming back, and he said, I wanted to learn from Nick. I wanted to start to think like him. Well, he gets the opportunity today to try to sort of be Nick on a fill-in basis while the coach is out with COVID. Here's a throw to Mechie, and it's a 1st down. Thought that was interesting, though, for a guy that was already been a head coach at 2 different spots, and to say, I want to learn from the best.
Well, I think he knows he's going to get another shot, and he wanted to say, listen, if I put some time in with a guy who's done it better than anyone, it can't help but make me a better head coach when I get that next shot.
And there might be a lot of people come calling with that next shot a lot sooner than you think.
Could happen.
1st down at the 49. Brian Robinson will join Mack in the backfield. They fake it to him. Jones on a roll, and now he's going to keep it. And slides down around the 47. Derek Hall was there to make sure he didn't go any further. So we're down to the final 2 minutes.
So remember, just understand what Mac Jones took on when he signed at Alabama. Had an offer from Kentucky. Late, he switched to Alabama. He signed the same year that when they signed 5-star Tua. And he said, I'm ready for the challenge. He worked hard, he got bigger, and obviously when he got his shot, he was ready.
3-star recruit came in, and then everybody made a big deal about Tua's little brother coming, or Bryce Young coming this year. And Mac Jones just said, I think I got this handled. Jamie?
And keep in mind, the wide receivers he came in were not the all-star fleet that they used when he was Tua's backup. So he was becoming comfortable with Devontae, with Jalen, with Mechie, as they all grew up together in this offense.
Well said. Good point. They give to Devontae Smith on the end around. He's got another 1st down. That's the final minute. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, seeing Devontae just touch the ball.
I'm getting nervous with all these questions.
Right now he's got 72 catches for 1,017 yards and 12 touchdowns. Is he the Bolitnikoff leader in the clubhouse?
I will tell you this. I even felt all the way back when they had all 3 of these. 2 of them already, Ruggs and Judy, are #1 picks. We know Waddle will be. I felt he was the best technician of all 4
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, remember? Even when he was a true freshman. And I think he's going to be an NFL #1 receiver when he gets into the NFL, and valuable because he's another one of those guys that doesn't have to beg for the ball every time. He does his job, and he's ready when needed.
Jones scans the field, goes too high for Forrestal. Having a big day again. He and Sherwood having a little chat. But today it's 6 catches, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Jalen Waddle can't wait till he gets back out there, and there's a possibility that he might be able, should they make the college football playoff, that he would be able to get healthy enough to come back and play. He wants to, but that's all up to the doctors and the trainers and all of that. Third down. Late snap.
Yeah, that didn't look right, did it?
I think everybody went except the center.
He had to hurry up. He had the play he wanted, and
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So the first 4 games, Jalen Waddle was on a tear, injured on the opening kickoff in the game we saw against Tennessee.
Yep.
And then Nick did say he's working hard. He's in a boot. He's on the sidelines, just using one crutch today.
Going into this game, he still was the second leading receiver for the Alabama on the team.
Third quarter.
And the third quarter comes to a close. And quarter number 3 was big for the Crimson Tide, the top-ranked team in the country, with the lead at the end of 3. We'll return to Tuscaloosa right after this message and a word from your local station. We open up the fourth quarter of the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Alabama in control and the 85th Iron Bowl with the ball and the lead. And a third down and 8. At the Auburn 31. Mac Jones backpedals, throws, complete. Najee Harris, blockers in front, and he got the first down. So now it's Najee, the receiver, who picks up a third and long. Brad and Gary back in booth. Jamie's down on the field. This is the 4th time we've had Alabama this year in person, partner. I think they look better now than they did in the previous 3.
Yeah, they've got, listen, you know, they always say that the bad teams improve. Well, the good teams improve too.
Yeah.
It's a much better football team. But I think this is the last drive we're going to see the starters in this game. And I think even Nick would break protocol and rules if the starters, or if Devontae's out there returning a punt, Nick's going to call. I predict that.
Here's Jones going deep down the middle, overshot Forrestal in the middle of the field. Bring up second down and 10 as we take a look at our national news and notes. Sarah Fuller, way to go, Sarah. First female to play a Power 5 game. She kicked off today for Vanderbilt. 409 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns in Buffalo, and the Irish got their 15th straight win the other day against North Carolina.
Did you ask me that question about Najee when you knew this guy rushed for 409 yards?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'd still say the same thing. Here comes a blitz off the corner. They throw it right over the. Oh, nice tackle. Devontae Smith by Roger McCreary.
Man, did you see him turn around and look at Baker? Devontae goes, Rook, freshman, I'm dependent on you, man.
Just get a piece of it,
He turned right around and stared at him, too. Yeah, you got to slow him down. I don't expect to turn around. He goes, watch him turn around and stare right at the freshman. Like, you did that to me. You know that.
So third down at 13. Three wideouts to Mac Jones right as he looks that way. Throws that way. Corner. Got it! Mechie, touchdown!
I've said this a lot for this guy, but you can't throw the ball any better than this.
Nope. 24-yard touchdown on a 3rd and 13.
Slot formation, Mechie's going to go right up the sideline again. That easy throw. There's not a lot of traffic out there, a lot of field out there, and he just lets it go. He's got one-on-one coverage out there. He knows he's got him the whole way.
Picture perfect. So Mechie's got 2 today, 2 to go with Devontae Smith. And the lead goes to 42-6, and that's how it feels if you're an Auburn fan right now.
And he had a little bit of Bart Starr in him here. 18 completions for over 300 yards. That's how Bart used to do it for the Packers.
Our game recap. Top-ranked Alabama, number 22 Auburn. And the duo, Mac Jones to Devontae Smith, right on target from the first quarter on, to the tune of 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense has been sensational. That interception thwarted a late-scoring possibility for Auburn. Najee Harris getting rolling now, too, closing in on 100 yards, and his 17th rushing touchdown of the year. And John Mechie just caught his second scoring toss from Mac Jones, who has thrown 5 touchdown passes in the game. And fair catch for Auburn here as we take you back to the touchdown from the AT&T 5G pylon cam as Mechie's coming right at you, and the throw is picture perfect.
Picture perfect. Go right to the guy who called it. That's exactly what you do. When you're in sync with the play call, when the play caller understands what the quarterback likes to throw and how he can get it downfield, it is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
And he throws a deep ball as well as anybody. And he's done it often this year. Now up to 23 touchdown passes.
And this defense for Alabama has been just as good. I mean, scoring all those points they have, even in the Missouri game, I mean, they stopped scoring. They could have scored, you know, at will if they wanted to. They pulled their starters after, you know, middle of the third quarter in that football game. And in what, a little more than 4 games now, they've given up 26 total points, this defense.
Still having allowed a touchdown in 12 quarters.
Right. Tennessee, right? The last one?
Yeah. Nix throws, completes the stove, and he got the first down.
See, I'm not putting Bigsby back in the game no matter what. If I'm Gus Malzahn, I said, okay, we're going to finish this football game, but we got a big game at home where we play much better. We got the number 5 team in the country coming in.
Yep.
I need Bigsby next week. That's a big game. You know, you win the last 2 games. Let's call this a loss. You finish the season 7-3, and you just go. It was a transition year. I mean, our offensive line got nicked, and we just are not as good as Alabama this year.
Not to mention the weirdness of the season itself. Mark Anthony Richards on the carry. There's a quarterback comparison. Interception was costly at the end of the first half. Took away what could have been a field goal attempt, probably, if nothing else.
You know, that defense wants to hold on to that record. They don't want anybody to go across that goal.
No, they don't. And Richards, they're playing like it right there. That's Anderson. Will Anderson, another freshman.
Brian Young and Anderson, 2 guys in the backfield, tackle for loss. Just attacking the line of scrimmage. Anderson turns it one way. Actually, 3 play people. Brian Young, Anderson, making plays in the backfield, just blowing it up.
3rd down and 8. Shanker, the tight end in motion. Now they shift the receivers and a little tighter on the left. And Nix wants to throw a screen, and he threw it right to the defense. Brian Branch inside the 10-yard line with another interception.
Brian Branch gets the interception, but this play is blown up at the line of scrimmage by aggressiveness right here. Watch this, taking on the play, blows it up, and that's why the pass is anticipated. Actually, it was Malachi Moore, his partner, the true freshman, blows the play up, and Branch gets the reception. Number 13 blows it up, holds it, and then the pass goes to his partner, and he actually comes back and gets a block.
And Nix saved a touchdown with a tackle, but it's 1st and goal, Alabama. And now that defense gets to celebrate over there.
I haven't seen a really defensive back play this slot and safety position like this good since Mika Fitzpatrick was playing here for Alabama. Malachi Moore is
ball is out, and Auburn might have it back. Brian Robinson fumbled, and Auburn has it. So turnover for turnover on back-to-back plays. He was trying second effort to get in the end zone and got around the 3-yard line, and then the ball came out. So Auburn's offense will have it back, not in a good spot, and trailing 42-6. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot, Mercedes-Benz, Aflac, and by Wheels Up. Now the wheels are almost up on this one right now as Alabama's got the big lead, but Auburn did get it back on the fumble by Brian Robinson, and they're going to have to work from their own 4-yard line. Don't forget, coming up before we're done, the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be an Alabama play of the game.
Well, they deserve it, right?
Yeah. Last year it was Auburn's turn at Jordan Hare to win by 3, and the payback is coming here in the next 10.5 minutes to Auburn. Richards trying to get to the edge, got run out of bounds by Jobe, and we get a Jeep update with Adam Zucker in New York. Zuck.
All right, Ness, number 8 Northwestern, once down 17-0, now up 20-17 in the 4th. Cam Porter on the direct snap right there. They've also shut out 4 of their 5 opponents in the second half this season and would clinch the Big Ten West with a win. Back to you.
Now the surprise team, I don't know if it's a surprise or not, Northwestern.
Well, now it's beginning to, last year was a surprise, one-off year, because Pat's got that program on track.
Bo Nix straight ahead, got about 4 to bring up 3rd down and close to 4.
If you're an Auburn fan, you don't want Bo Nix taking any hard hits the rest of this football game.
No, not when you got games coming up.
No, I don't think so. I would not be calling any more quarterback runs. The blocking's not there. What do they have? They're not even, I think they're -3 or 0 yards, 5 yards rushing in all the second half of this game. They had no running game.
Nix under center. Schwartz will go in motion. Kind of sort of faked it to him, I guess, and then had it pulled down, running out, running for his life, got a first down.
And slid.
Gutsy.
How about that?
He had to run about 2 miles to get that first down.
It was supposed to be a gimmick throwback screen. Play action pass, but it was covered. He dodges 2. He eludes 1, and then he knows he's got the first down and says, I'm not going to get hit on this one.
He got 9 yards and ran about 39 yards to get it and avoided a safety from 3 Alabama defenders in the end zone. No giving up for Bo Nix. Here's Richards into the secondary, and he blasts his way for 13.
Anthony Richards came in, says 6 carries all year, but in this football game right now, this is the guy I'd want running the ball.
And he pitches it to him. Tripped up after a pickup of about 4 as we check into Jamie.
Well, we heard a sweet little Thanksgiving story with the Steele family this week. Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, and his son, who was an offensive grad assistant for Alabama, reunited on the field today. But it was Kevin's wife, Linda, who made the trip to Tuscaloosa for Thanksgiving. Now, this is the first time she's done this for Iron Bowl week. But, Gary, you know this best. It's because there's 2 grandbabies involved now. So Linda's got to go to where the grandbabies are.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin, of course, was a defensive coordinator here as well. His defense had played really well until they ran into this buzzsaw. 5th year he's been at Auburn. Nick's first defensive coordinator here.
told me his goal was to keep away the big play. That big play, the pass to Devontae Smith just kind of burst the bubble.
Yeah, it did, right from the get-go.
Yep.
Shivers brought down by Will Anderson as he got to midfield. Second down at 4. Alabama changing up its defensive personnel.
So Mark Anthony Richards had more carries in this game than he had coming into the game.
Yeah. Now they get everything changed up. Center Judge backs out. From midfield, Bo Nix, empty backfield. Looking to throw down the left sideline, overshot, and got a flag.
This has to be the 8th pass, maybe 10th pass out of the 35 or 36 attempted that he's had to actually jump to throw the ball.
Yeah. Intended receiver is Kobe Hudson, and the penalty is going to be on Josh Jobe, who hasn't done much wrong today, that's for sure.
Pass interference, defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Remember earlier he completed a couple of these big ones down in the end of the first half, but here he is again, back foot, kind of just jumping, no step into the throw. He can feel that pass rush, and
I think the booing is because they thought the pass was uncatchable, out of bounds, and Joe goes, wait a minute. They always tell me to use the sideline as an extra defender.
Yeah.
I did that. Richards for a yard or 2.
Not a lot of penalties in this football game. Only 8 all game last year in this game. Alabama had 13. They've only got 4 so far in the game. Very clean game from both sides.
And we got a timeout. As we've got players shaken up. We'll take the timeout as well with 6.5 left in the Iron Bowl. Let's take a look at the GMC game changers.
Well, let's start with Devontae Smith. And Ness, do you think he's a candidate for the Biletnikoff?
I do.
I think I'd have to agree with you. He probably is the leading candidate for the Biletnikoff. 2 big touchdowns, one over the top and one on a slant to bust the defense wide open. How about Najee? What's he a candidate for?
I'd say Doak Walker Award.
Well, he's right in the middle of it. That's for sure. And of course, the third part of it is their quarterback, who has to be a candidate for the
Heisman Trophy.
You got it, all 3.
Well, the big 3, we talked about them about 3 hours ago, and they have all come through with huge games again today in a 42-6 lead. 9th play, the drive coming. Bo Nix pumps and then throws. Got him. Here's Shaker's tight end. And it's going to be 1st and goal, Alabama. Around the 8. This is the longest drive tonight. This will be the 10th play coming up.
Schenker starts out on the left side. This is a play that hurt Alabama that Ole Miss ran. Play action path. Both receivers go wide and they delay the tight end down the middle.
Okay, here's the part where Auburn is thinking we do not want to go home to the Plains without a touchdown. And as you said earlier, Alabama's defense is saying, let's keep them out of the end zone.
It's all 4 downs to stop them then, right?
Yep.
Do they need all 4?
Richards broke 1 tackle.
Oh, nice run.
And he dives to about the 1.
Nice stutter on the play. I thought Helms had the best shot at him. Missed early, but then he had a shot. What was Anderson first and then Helms second?
So Richards with a good run. 2nd down and goal at the 1. There's the stat we were talking about. No touchdowns allowed in 12 quarters. And they still haven't given one up yet. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, or maybe a half-yard gain.
This was what they call a sellout defensively. They're playing the inside run. Alabama crashes inside. Will Anderson, number 31, comes down. The defensive tackle comes down. And then you scrape off of him and hope the ball carrier bounces outside exactly the way he did.
Dylan Moses put the final hit on it inside the 1-yard line.
Remember, Bo Nix had a keeper for a touchdown last year. Will he keep it here?
This drive started at their own 4-yard line. They're inside the Alabama 1. And there is the keeper, and there's the touchdown. So a 96-yard drive. Could have used a few more of those earlier in the game.
Could feel it coming. Didn't have the confidence. The offensive line member busted up, and he runs right through Dylan Moses. Moses was there. He smelled it out too, but Bo Nix just a little bit of an angle, and he squeezes into the end zone.
And for Bo, that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Nice fight.
Yep. No quit.
Yep, nice fight. Get ready for next week. Big game. They come on you fast this time of year, right at the end. They have senior day for Alabama, and they got 3 more games to play, basically. They're going to LSU, Arkansas, and the SEC championship.
96-yard drive and 12 plays. Bo Nix does the final honors from a yard out, 42-13. Coming up after our game, our hard-working trio of friends, Adam, Rick, and BJ, will have the day's best highlights on a college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Auburn finally put together a excellent scoring drive, but too little too late with 4:39 remaining. And I'm sure an onside kick upcoming. Bo Nix did the honors from a yard out with a keeper. See what Anders Carlson has in his shoe.
Got Mechie and Devontae Smith out there as the 2 ball, hawks to the outside, bottom and the top.
Now they're going to kick away. And nobody home back there, so Alabama takes over at the 25. And will we see Bryce Young at quarterback?
I think so.
Finish things off. There he is, the highly touted freshman.
And I think he's caught a big break this year by not playing. Get ready, learn, when you get in there, when you have your turn, make sure you're ready to play. He needs a spring. Remember, he didn't get a spring football, not much summer ball. Max had a great year this year, and if Matt Gold turns pro, it's his team in 21.
There's the final numbers. Iron Bowl record 5 touchdown throws and over 300 yards passing again, which he's done virtually every week. There's Bolden in motion as Bryce Young is going to give it off. McClellan. Alabama doesn't lose often. Since 2015, they have come back on their revenge tour, if you want to call it that, beating Ole Miss, and then Clemson in the championship, Auburn, and then who knows, maybe they'll see Clemson again somewhere down the road. And today, they're going to get their payback from the 3-point loss last year at Jordan-Hare.
When next week, when we put that up in the game against LSU, there'll be another W up there. So what type of team is going to, what do you got to do to beat Bama? I think you got to have a big-time quarterback, right? I think that's number one. You got to be ready to score.
And they're going to see a big-time quarterback for the most part if it's Florida in the SEC championship game. But does Florida have enough defense to stop these guys?
That'll be the question. I think this is the most balanced team in college football. I nod a bit to Notre Dame. They got a really good football team. A lot of good athletes on both sides. The way Ian Book is playing right now. And Ian Book is a type of quarterback, a mobile guy that will give these guys problems. But you got to be able to score, and Florida can score. We'll see how good their defense is.
They're down at 7. We'll see if they let Bryce Young throw one here in the final 3 minutes.
No.
He's not going to get a chance. Swarmed under by Jaron Handy.
Well, Bryce doesn't have the starting. I don't think that's a starting offensive line in there, is it? Yes, that is. That's Leatherwood at left tackle, could be inside on the play. You do not see that happen very often.
Handy with a great move to the inside, and says it's not going to happen again either because coming out 4th and 15. Eli Stove will take it at the 39-yard line with 2:33 remaining in the ball game. Monday, On CBS, Simone Missick is back as Judge Lola Carmichael. It's her court, her rules. She doesn't mess around. CBS original series, All Rise. New episode Monday at 9/8 Central on CBS. Well, the crowd that was here is enjoying it for all it's worth because it's the Iron Bowl, and when it's your #1 rival and you're only one of 19,000 or 20,000 that can come in here, hey, going to savor the moments. Richards, who's run strong here in this fourth quarter, he's still doing it.
Yep. He's earning some more touches, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Especially with Tank Bigsby banged up with the hip. They tried Sean Shivers today for a time, DJ Williams for a few carries, but this guy's looked good.
It has, and that's still Bama's #1 defense on the field.
Here's the toss to Richards, and he's got a first down. Alabama's defense good today.
They did. They started out putting pressure, a couple sacks early in the game. They stopped the running game all game, and then the young defensive backs, Malachi Moore with 1 interception, and then Brian Branch with the next one.
It's funny. At the beginning of the season, Brian Branch was the guy that they thought was going to have that spot instead of Malachi Moore. And Moore just kind of outworked him, and now they're both out there, and they both got interceptions today. Final minute and a half. Auburn's got a date with Texas A&M next week. We talked about we'll see you under the lights in Baton Rouge next week for LSU and Alabama.
Let's see if Derek Stingley can slow down Devontae Smith.
Well, it'll be a good matchup to watch for sure. Nobody slowed him down so far.
Nope.
7 more catches today for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. With 1:12 remaining, timeout. Call on the field on Richards as he was down by contact. It's under review to see whether or not the ball was heading out before he hit the turf. He's still got it pinned to his rib cage with his elbow.
I don't think so. He's holding it funny, but he's holding it.
Gene Steratore, we haven't talked to you in a while. Gene, what do you think?
We haven't, and this gives the definition of possession a little extra twist here. I agree with Gary. It's firmly pinned when the knee hits the ground, and he had possession prior to that naturally as a runner. I would give it to him.
After video review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 2nd down.
And that's call confirmed. That's the way I carry most of the stuff.
Yes, exactly.
All the Christmas decorations I carry just like that. Nancy's going, you didn't carry any Christmas decorations. I did it all. So Auburn has a 2nd and 1 with 1:12 remaining in the game. Schwartz in motion toward the ball. Nix, plenty of time, now running out of it. Back pedals to the left. Going to make it a tough throw for himself if he does let it go. He does, and it's broken up, incomplete, intended for Williams.
Just thinking about the big picture of this game, that Auburn defense has done a good job on the primary receiver the last few games, but today, nope.
Elijah Moore, Terrace Marshall, and Josh Palmer they kept in check, but not that dude.
Nope.
They don't have to feel bad, or too bad anyway, because nobody else has really slowed him down this year.
That's true.
3rd down and 1. The throw, Pegues, big guy bouncing off people, takes about 4 to bring him down, which they do at the 35, but at 1st down.
Right now, every hit to an important Auburn player, if you're a fan of Auburn football, you're holding your breath
Well,
here.
it's one more bruise for next week before A&M, right?
Right. I understand a lot about football and a lot of stuff that's going on the perimeter of football, peripheral. But right here, you don't want one of your key players hurt.
I'm going to call intentional grounding, I guess, on that long throw, as Bo was saying. I thought I had a guy out there, only he was wearing a crimson jersey.
The receiver pulled up on the play. Bo just thought he was going to go along. He said, I wasn't getting rid of the ball. I was throwing it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Again, you just, you know, I would just hate to see somebody get hurt here right at the end of the football game. This game is over.
So Gus Malzahn will now be.
The intentional grounding foul includes the option for a 10-second runoff. Auburn has called timeout to prevent the subtraction. It's their first charge timeout of the half.
That'll bring some booze raining down. Gus is going to fall to 3 and 5 in Iron Bowls. And he's still working the officials over there on the sideline. So the timeout will prevent the 10-second runoff. Would have been down to 18 seconds.
I will say this, even the Auburn starters are in there, so is the Alabama players.
That's why they call it the Iron Bowl, I guess. So 2nd and 19 on the ground. Richard stood up after a short gain. And let's see if that's it, or if Auburn's going to use their last timeouts. Looks like now they're going to let it go.
I think this is a good decision.
Yeah,
I really do.
I agree with you. Auburn's going to fall to 5 and 3. Alabama will go to 8 and 0. And they have solidified their #1 in the country status, that's for sure. An emphatic statement game over their arch rival from Auburn. 42-13 is the final tally as Steve Sarkisian and Gus Malzahn meet at midfield. Jamie is with the winning coach, socially distanced.
I am. We have head coach Nick Saban on the phone from his home. Coach, I know you told us yesterday that not being around your players had an empty feeling. So how did today play out for you emotionally watching this game from home?
That was difficult, but I'm really happy with the result, I can tell you that. So I thought the players played really well. They played hard in the game. Made a lot of big plays on offense. Defense stepped up and did a nice job. We didn't finish exactly like we'd like, but I'm really, really proud of our team and proud of our players. And regardless of what I felt like emotionally, this is a great win for our fans, a great win for us at Alabama. So this is really special.
I know you had a lot of challenging firsts this week, and this will be the first time you have to address a team from afar in the locker room. What do you say to your group after a win like this?
Oh, I say the same thing I'd say to them any other time. It's a great win. It's always great to win this game. The Iron Bowl is something special to the people in the state of Alabama. So it's something special to us as a team. I'm really proud of our team. So this is a great win for us, and I'm absolutely going to tell them that. There's no question about it. We'll sing the fight song, which is what we always do when we win.
I know there was some comments about how Mac Jones could be a game-managing quarterback, but how masterful of a performance did he put together for you today?
I thought Mac played really, really well. I'm sure that when we look at the film, everybody's going to see some things they could have done better, and that's what we want to focus on moving forward, is what we have to do to improve. But he certainly made the plays he needed to make today, and Smitty played great, Ozzie played great. So, a lot of positives out there for us today.
Coach, we wish you well with your health moving forward. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you.
I know Jamie asked Coach in the pregame show if he was going to have any snacks. Says he doesn't do snacks, but I understand Payday is the kind of candy bar he prefers.
That's a celebration
so
snack.
He's probably pulling one of those out of the desk right about now. Well, now it's time for the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. And here's how it looked. Trying to keep big plays away from happening. That's what Kevin Steele wanted to do. But when you got guys like this, they just seem to happen. And it's a 66-yard strike to Devontae Smith. Part of a 172-yard, 2-touchdown day. And here's how Eli Gold called it on the Alabama Radio Network.
Play action fake. Then he pumps, throws long. Devontae wide open. He is so wide open. It's unbelievable. Touchdown, Alabama. 66 yards.
Attaboy, Eli. One of 5 touchdown passes today for Mac Jones, who Can't play much better than he did again today. 42-13 is the final score. It's going to wrap it up for us. For Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Gene Steratore, Brad Nessler saying so long from Tuscaloosa. 42-13 the final. We'll see you in Baton Rouge in prime time next week. College football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage is up next after these messages. From Bryant-Denny Stadium, good night.
CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show is presented by Rocket Mortgage.
And we welcome you to the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Adam Zucker along with Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones. Tonight on CBS, celebrate the holiday season with Robbie the Reindeer and the story of Santa Claus, followed by a new edition of 48 Hours tonight, only CBS. Another game where Alabama scores at least 35. The emotion of the Iron Bowl, the absence of Nick Saban, really not affecting these guys in any negative way, BJ.
No, and I didn't expect it to. This is a senior-laden football team. Everyone knows what's expected of them. There's a standard which they have set over the 13, 14 years Nick Saban has been on that sideline. So they just go out and like a well-oiled machine, they produce. And this guy, I keep referring to him as a speedway special. No one can seem to cover him. And the balance, though, Najee Harris, even with the heavily taped ankle, able to jump cut, get out there into the open and take it to the house. And Rick, can we say enough about Mac Jones?
Brilliant. I mean, they have absolutely figured out how to take what you give them, whether it be formationally they line up and can maul you with the running game. They have the ability with this brilliant quarterback to take advantage of anything you give them in the coverage world. And they are a complete football team, and now add a dominant defense to go along with it.
And Mac Jones tying to his record in the Iron Bowl with 5 pass touchdowns. You're right. Well-rounded defensively, offensively. Yes, they finally gave a touchdown up, after not having done so with 11 straight quarters. But they're playing as well as we've seen Alabama play in the past.
But they made everything else look easy, and they got this revenge game done. I got another one coming up next week here on CBS. Well, let's get to the highlights from the day, though, starting with 8th-ranked Northwestern trying to stay perfect and also clinch the Big Ten West, but they fell behind Michigan State big, BJ.
Yeah, they did. Rocky Lombardi finding Jaden Reed right there for the touchdown. But here comes Northwestern roaring back. Cam Porter with the score. They finally allowed someone other than Purdue to score in the second half on them, did the Wildcats.
Yeah, so it's 20-all fourth quarter right now. After 5 weeks on the shelf, Rick, Trevor Lawrence was ready to rip one.
He wanted to throw one down the field, so let's get a guy wide open. Why don't we? Cornell Powell, that guy, 17-0 Clemson at that point. They would add to that big ways. And Travis Etienne, 3 yards right here, 45-17 Clemson. Lawrence, 26 of 37, 403 yards in his welcome back.
That's pretty good. It's like Kyle Trask numbers. Trask got his favorite target back today, BJ, to face Kentucky.
Not once, but twice now. Kyle Pitts has scored 3 touchdowns in a ball game this season. You can forget about it there, Mr. DB for Kentucky. I think his last name is Joseph. Here again, quick slant. Able to reach out with those long limbs. Walking by, baby. Hanging out with the fam. What's up, fam?
That makes it 19 straight against unranked teams. And
rocket by, baby.
And Kentucky just trying to get 18 guys out because of COVID-19.
Numerous coaches as well.
That's right. All right, we'll be back with more scores and highlights after this quick timeout. It's today's best. Here we go. And State finally got a win today. That's part of it right there.
This helps.
Just can't happen.
I can't believe SMU played as poorly as they did. They were down big.
Carolina in a big way over SMU.
And how about this kid? Garrett Patterson.
Jarrett Run.
He's the man, and she's the woe man. Sarah Fuller.
Making history in the SEC. Michigan State Northwestern still going. Yep, Trask bolstering his chances every week. And Ian Book did it last night. Unreal.
I asked you not to do that.
You want an onside kick us? Well, I'm going to show you what we do with that. Run it back for a TD.
Wild one with Oklahoma State. Clemson getting toward victory in Alabama. locking it
Awesome we could
up.
get that much action in, given all the cancellations and postponements.
21 postponements or cancellations this week. But next Saturday, the SEC on CBS coming your way with either 5th-ranked Texas A&M taking on Auburn or 6th-ranked Florida against Tennessee. It all gets started with State Farm College football today at 3 Eastern. But that's not all. In an added primetime bonus, top-ranked Alabama visits LSU as the Tide looks to avenge last season's loss to the defending national champs. All right, we go back to the highlights now, and here's the latest between Michigan State and undefeated number 8 Northwestern. Matt Coughlin for the Spartans. It's not pretty, but it's good. 48 yards. And so Northwestern
an incredible
is at risk.
Interception by the Spartans.
Sparty just got a pick. Okay, now we mentioned Jarrett Patterson. Here we go, Rick. One of the greatest rushing performances ever today.
Run, Jarrett, run. He did so to a tune of 409 yards and 8. That's right.
Ties the record.
Touchdowns, which ties the record.
And 409 rushing yards, second most ever. Samaj P. Ryan's record still safe. Meanwhile, special moment in Missouri shutout of Vanderbilt coming up here.
Larry Roundtree the third, scoot around left, 7-yard score. But here's that special moment. Vanderbilt's Sarah Fuller, first woman to play in a Power 5 college football game, a design squib kick. Let's give the young lady a hand. There you go. Good job. Jess recently won SEC soccer championship.
Yeah, goalkeeper there. And she had a play like a girl sticker on the back of her helmet. A bunch of regulars out due to COVID-19. That kickoff was her only shot. But here is her moment after the game.
I just want to tell all the girls out there that you can do anything you set your mind to. You really can. And if you have that mentality all the way through, you can do big things. So.
Well, when you smile, your mask can come off. Watch out. Oh, we got the Egg Bowl, Lane versus Leach, Rick, which means we're going to the air.
Matt Corral climbing in the pocket.
Where'd it go?
81 yards later, it would be Braylon Sanders in the end zone. They're ecstatic in the Egg Bowl.
But it's 24-21 now. It's getting tight. Lane's going for it on 4th down over and over again.
He's done that on 3 occasions. I think he's converted just 1.
Analytics. It's all analytics, and yet sometimes the moment in the game has to be a little bit larger.
You and I were just having
analytics.
this conversation about analytics. When do you just dump that and say, my football gut says to do something else?
Exactly right.
What's your football gut tell you about the day so far?
My football gut says I want some more leftover turkey dressing, and it says Bama is the best team in the nation right now.
Tide.
By far?
By far.
Yes.
Especially with the arrival of a pass rush. This is a really
defense has grown up.
Complete team.
All right, good stuff, guys. That'll do it for today. We thank you for watching the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on CBS. And the NFL on CBS continues tomorrow with a doubleheader. Most will see the Titans and Colts, followed by the Chiefs and Buccaneers. It all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. We'll see you here again next week for some more fun. For all of us, have a great night. Stay safe. And if you're BJ, enjoy those leftovers.